God damn, Gary. Some serious gourmet shit. What flavor is this?
That's right, it's the all-hell medium roast private blend. Check out the Geek Grind Coffee Nerdrotic page for our other options like the Decadent, Feathers of Liberty, vanilla-infused flavored coffee. Or if you're looking for something darker, try the Dark Roast FNT blend of the Fellowship. You know what? Just buy all three. GeekGrindCoffee.com. Use discount code Nerdrotic. Huzzah!
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
My mind is a raging torrent, flooded with rivulets of thought, cascading into a waterfall of creative alternatives.
God darn it, Mr. Lamar. You use your tongue prettier than a $20 whore.
That was awkward. What's up? Sorry, I'm late. My communication was crap this week with my co-host because I've been getting ready for the meetup, and I was up reviewing a horrible episode of The Mandalorian last night. But thankfully, one has shown up now. Again, I take responsibility for this. Hopefully, Az, if you're out there, I sent you the link. Chris, if you're awake, I sent you the link. Cullen, if you're out there in the chat, let me know. I'll send you the link. Sorry, I'm late, everybody. We're here to talk about the finale of Star Trek Picard Season 3, the unbelievable anomaly that we got. The name of the last episode is The Last Generation. And damn it, I loved it. I loved it. And I'm so happy that Yellow Flash has joined me today to talk about it. What's up, buddy?
Good to be here. I also watched it this morning, the first time. Got up early because, well, I wanted to come on the show and talk about it with you. Yes. So usually I watch it at night, and it sucks because my feed on my... One of the great things about this show is that it's fun to look at theory videos again. Like, what's going to happen next week? So my entire subscription feed is full of Picard stuff. So I always get spoiled a little bit for the new episode because, people post clips. So, but yeah, I loved it too.
And you stayed for the mid-credit scene? I see you.
Yeah, I watched it.
I was waiting for you to be ready. Hang on. Yeah, you did stay. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sorry. I was waiting for you to get your headphones on, buddy.
I got very limited time because I got hot toys in 40 minutes.
40 minutes. That's okay. There you go. Look at that. Real time, everybody. This is great for those.
Oh, we live. Oh shit, we're live.
We're live.
Oh,
yeah.
Hi.
It's gonna be great for everybody on Spotify. As from Heel versus Babyface, ladies and gentlemen, and Yellow Flash. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, governor.
I don't know if you're aware of this, but I got very limited time.
It's okay. I am keeping an eye on the clock for you. All right. So, ads.
Yes.
You saw the episode I noticed on Twitter.
Yes.
Okay, comics. Thank you very much.
He's all right.
It's all right. Hey, we're gonna spoil things. I mean, like most of the big spoilers are out there. I'd say probably it's just the mid-credit scene. And
the mid-credit scene is the bigger one.
Yeah.
Well, we can certainly talk about that mid-credit scene retconning one of the most gratuitous acts against Star Trek of all time, and it just undoes it with a snap of a finger. It's really, really nice. We'll talk about it later in this book.
It got a legit pop from me. A legit pop. I was like, oh! I literally did that. I did that.
I did that too.
And I just immediately tweeted to Terry Metalis, thank you. Thank you for that.
I'm glad Wesley didn't show up. I was worried about that.
Why would you like to go into space with me?
No. Actually, I wouldn't.
No.
I definitely like Jack more than I like Wesley. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have a favorite Crusher kid, and then ain't Wesley.
So does Beverly.
Yeah.
She knows where the gene pool lies. She knows where it falls.
I don't think it could be undersold what Terry Metalis did is close to impossible, and it took a lot of luck, and it took Alex Kurtzman and Akiva Goldsman fucking off to go do other things and not caring. And then they brought in somebody who did care and was able to get the crew back together, get the cast back together. All his guest stars, by the way, in a show that they completely take over at the end. Like, you know,
It has a Lord of the Rings ending, this show.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it. 20 minutes ending.
Yeah, it's got a 20-minute ending. Yeah,
it has a 20-minute ending about. Yeah, it's great.
The new characters, I liked some of them. I liked Shaw a lot. 7 and 9 was great in this season. I liked her. I even didn't mind the drug addict Raffi woman because she was with Worf the whole time. Like they had kind of a good chemistry between them. Like I enjoyed their little back and forths.
I think that's Michael Dorn, to be honest with you. I think because anything that you put Michael Dorn in any situation as Worf, and Worf shines.
Mm-hmm.
He's probably like the most underrated Star Trek character in history is Worf, because he's just phenomenal. And in TNG, he just got so good.
I loved.
It was so good to see him move over to DS9. We got more of him.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great when he was on that. I love DS9. That's a different show.
Yeah, I wasn't that into it at first. It was so different. But then when they moved Worf over, I was completely won over at that point because Worf is my favorite character from TNG. So, and he shined this season. It was great.
I didn't like Deep Space Nine at first either because I'm so used to Star Trek, being in a ship, and not so stationary. But man, if you when you did finally give that show a chance, and most people did, because I think a lot of people agree it's such a great show. Like it's probably some of the best Star Trek ever. In some ways, I don't know. It's tough to say if I like it more than TNG or not. So I go back and forth on it. But man, in some ways, that's peak Star Trek.
Yep. It's held up the best, I think, outside of the original series, which is Star Trek, which is the GOAT. But I absolutely agree with you. And this episode closed out the entire series arc, and we can go back and forth. Yes, there are legit nitpicks in this show. There absolutely are. There's cussing, too dark. So lots of plot contrivances is what I was just telling Flash before Az showed up. I was like, these are normal conversations we should be having about entertainment.
Yeah, we're not debating on why Beverly has a cock now or anything like this. It's they shouldn't be swearing. This is what it used to be.
There should never ever be swearing in Star Trek.
No,
I mean even canonically there shouldn't be swearing in Star Trek.
No, even if I laugh at one scene, because there was one scene in this episode.
Yeah, with the bat lift.
Yeah, when Riker goes to pick up the bat lift and he goes,
I didn't know it was so heavy.
Shit, I didn't know this is so heavy.
I was like,
it's not the bat lift, it's the caliph or whatever it's called. Anyway, you had a phase the whole time. Swords are fun.
Yeah.
I fucking erupted at that. I really did. War's he's the GOAT. He's the absolute GOAT.
Or when Riker's like, I'm gonna go with you, Picard, and I'm going too. It's a threesome.
It's a threesome. Did you even hear yourself? I'll make it a threesome.
That was good.
Yeah, it's such a Worf line though. He's just like, oh man, yeah, there was great. Oh man, there's a lot of plot contrivances in this series. I don't like the swearing. I don't like the over violence. And 7 of 9 wasn't 7 of 9. Okay, she was completely different. She was old, you know, Kurtzman 7 of 9. This angry, bitter, until like the final scene when she was a little bit more normal. But there again, the final scene was a little bit too familiar. You know, would have liked to have seen 7 slap him down a bit and just go, Ensign, Captain. Something along those kind of lines when he got a little bit too familiar. But in terms of like Jonathan Frakes, God, that man could play Riker all day, every day. He was so good, and there were so many great. Like, this sounds weird, but one of my favorite bits in the whole episode is when Data is leaving the counseling session, and Riker's just like propped up against the wall, because that's just such a Riker thing, and he just had that huge beaming grin on his face. And it's just like, that's fucking Riker right there. That is Riker. That isn't Jonathan Frakes trying to remember what it's like to play Riker. That is actually, you know, William T. Riker in the flesh. And it was just such a great little moment, because, you know, Marina Sirtis doesn't know how to do Deanna Troy's voice anymore. She hasn't since First Contact in 95. So she never comes across as Deanna Troy anymore. Beverly, you know, Gates McFadden as Beverly was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Michael Dorn as Worf was fantastic. Brent Spiner, you know, you got those great Data moments. And LaForge is LaForge, you know, and so for the most part, the cast were just so on point. Even if Picard is a little bit too much Patrick Stewart, and Marina Sirtis is a little bit too much don't buy stuff from Japan because they kill whales, you know, sort of person. But yeah, I felt, oh God, I felt like a little bit of soul.
Yes. Yeah, there's even moments of Patrick Stewart sounding like Captain Picard.
Yeah, especially when he's on the bridge.
Yep.
Yes.
That scene where he sits down in the chair and like becomes captain of the Enterprise again. That was like spot on. Old TNG Picard. That was really good. Oh, another thing, well, you're talking about the characters getting their moments. I did love that scene where Beverly hits the phasers.
Yeah.
And just nails everything. And she's like, a lot's happened in 25 years.
Yeah.
It didn't come across as a girl boss moment.
Yes.
It came across as she's been out of the game for 20 years. They don't know what she's been up to. She's been out on the outer rim doing all this, you know, cowboy medicine to try and save these people. And then, so she's learned to survive, you know, and then they're all just like,
it wasn't precise fire anyway. It was like scatter fire. She just blew the shit out of everything.
Just blew the shit out of
everything.
Okay. I did like the bit with Data when he was just like, I feel it in my gut.
Yeah. Let's go with Data's gut.
Yeah, let's go with Data's gut. You know, let's do it. And then they had the exhaust run from Star Wars.
Yeah, they totally ripped it off, and it was great.
It was insane. It made no sense. It made no sense. There's no way a Galaxy class starship should be able to go, fuck it. I didn't care. That, like, if you want to have a problem with that,
I didn't care. I think by then I didn't care. I was just like, blow everything up.
I'm like, go, let's go. You know, and that's what we're here for. Okay. I mean, maybe I know there's canonistas out there like Professor Robert Meyer Burnett. He's a professor of Star Trek. He just did. You know, as knows his shit, but like Star Trek has not always been canonically precise. Okay, there's been a lot of plot contrivances. There's tachyons, which I mean, when they mentioned
Klingons in general are a mess.
Tachyon field, there's always some like space, you know, spacey word you can use to explain spatial anomalies, you know, crap like that. That's great. I'm fine with that. I don't have a problem as long as the characters are consistent. Because this is a character.
But if the Borg cube got there through a transwarp conduit, hello, you need to destroy the transwarp conduit.
Yeah,
you could use the tachyons to you know reveal the.
You can use the tachyons to reverse the polarity.
Yes. Tachyon emissions coming.
Easy. You could bypass the compressor.
I thought, by the way, Alice Krieg's Borg Queen looked incredible. Looked absolutely incredible.
Well, that was a different actress. She voice acted.
Okay. Well, they still look great. The Borg Queen looked great.
Yeah, she looked. Well, I mean, the fact that she was consuming the Borg.
That was cool.
That was cool.
Yeah.
That was like, ooh. And
Yeah,
they're on like a
feeding off
Borg
the Borg.
tube. And like there's so many callbacks. There's similar sound effects to Wrath of Khan when they're walking around the space station. There's like the same beep 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 going on. There's callbacks to Star Trek 4 right at the beginning with Antov Chekhov.
Yeah, that was
great.
Chekhov's son.
Yeah, and who was the president of Earth basically with that last message. So we got an OG Star Trek cameo, which was brilliant.
Because that was Walter Koenig that did the voice.
Yeah,
was that him?
Yeah, that was Walter Koenig.
Yeah,
I thought so. That was great. Yeah, nice little push in. You know, this show gets a lot of shit for its nostalgia, but this nostalgia works for the benefit of the show, not just to like
hook you in. Yeah. It's not nostalgia bait. It's not nostalgia bait. It is member berries. It is fan service.
Yeah, it was Anton Chekhov, by the way.
It's his son, Anton Chekhov. Yeah. President of Earth.
President of Earth.
Yeah,
OG.
It opens up with a message
ruling
like, our young have turned against us because everybody under the age of 25 has been infected with the woke mind virus. I'm sorry, the Borg.
Oh, this is
that's my favorite.
We had 2 Borg cubes defeated today. We had the Borg cube defeated in the show, and BuzzFeed News is shut down. Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
2 Borg cubes have been shut down today.
I'm gonna taste a little victory here.
Oh yeah.
So sweet.
Oh, if you want to go on that, did you see that Elon Musk sent so Wired's mad because that guy got permanently suspended for sharing private shit from Matt Walsh, and Wired contacted Elon Musk and he responded, "Oh, well, with Twitter customer service," and they sent them a poop emoji in response. They're currently crying about it on Twitter right now.
I'm gonna cry with laughter. That is beautiful. Oh God.
Turnaround's a bitch, isn't it?
Oh my God. I don't know if I can take this much winning right now.
I know.
Oh, but again, I want to acknowledge this is not perfect, but I enjoyed it overall. I'll watch it again. I will buy the Steelbook 4K of this shit. I've already got my vinyl soundtrack pre-ordered.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, and I already have. I have the soundtrack that I'm going to listen to on my way out to Vegas. So I already have it. I'm already listening.
I love the music in this show because it feels like a mashup of TNG music and the movie themes.
Yes.
And not the Generations movies. I'm like the old Kirk movies. Sounds like a lot of those themes.
The First Contact theme in there.
Yeah, that one, but that's a great theme.
Well, the first Generations shit movie. I hate it. Great soundtrack.
True.
Well, Star Trek's always had good music.
Yep. So yeah, you should totally just ditch it. And get some other clown. Same with The Mandalorian. I mean, John Williams, old. Let's have our music go. What the dude? Sorry, I just spent all night roasting the shit out of the last 2 episodes. I was up till 2 a.m.
I only watched the first 2 episodes of the season and dipped.
Didn't watch any.
So bad.
No interest.
You're better off.
Zero interest.
You're smarter than me. I'm at least gonna have my say about it, having sat through that, and I'm never going back. Never going back. And like, how inexplicable is it that Picard season 3 is better than The Mandalorian? I mean,
better than all 3 seasons of The Mandalorian.
Season 1 and 2, some of you might hate it. You could at least say the first season was like passable. Okay, at the very least.
I like the first season of Mandalorian.
Passable season of television.
I really liked it.
But did you ever predict that Star Trek Picard would be better than Mandalorian 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago? No. I wouldn't have predicted it. Nobody would have predicted it, but it happened, and that can't be undersold. Terry Metalis did a very, very simple thing. He showed the legacy characters respect and managed to work away within the plot where you're still, little contrivances here and there, but it's character driven. This isn't a show about like the Borg. This is a show about a father and a son. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So you're moving this Trek family and you're getting them together, and at the end you put them on the effing bridge of the effing Enterprise D that's lit up together without anybody else. Was it really that hard? Was it really that fucking hard? So
and he turned the lights on. That's important.
Turned the lights on.
Yes. Yeah. Wasn't. Yeah. But we're talking
Even
about
in Generations, they didn't do that.
No.
Which, by the way, I bought the 4K box set for the Picard TNG crew movies, and that lighting in Generations, if you're watching that in 4K, it's almost impossible to watch it because the way the lighting goes, that's legit. This like blackness. It looks really bad.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's bad.
It was and it was quite lens from what I can remember, because it's been a while since I watched Generations, because not a good film, and it was quite lens flary, because you were just seeing like the stars outside, and it was so yeah. I just imagine watching that with HDR, I'd be like, you won't be able to see anything.
Ed Speleers, great.
But that I mean, the Enterprise D bridge looks so good now, and it's just like, look. You've just rebuilt the Enterprise D bridge, and that looks like it's ready to go for a series. I wasn't overly enamored with the renaming of the Titan. Why rename the Titan when you've got the Enterprise?
We saw the
Enterprise.
I was absolutely because the Enterprise D is decommissioned. It was.
I
Never
mean, the Enterprise F was there for a minute.
For a
Did it get
minute,
destroyed?
Yeah, and it was huge. That was massive.
It's all about the G now. All about the G. Totally down with the Enterprise G. That's right. The F is like shit. Sorry, the F and the E both look terrible to me. They look like big, fat, blobby things.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a cruise ship.
Yeah,
the Enterprise F.
It does.
Yeah.
Well, they are Galaxy class. They're meant to be
the
family
E
oriented.
Is the E in a Galaxy class?
No, that's just something else class.
Now the G looks like this is why I like the Titan. Titan looks like a Constitution class ship.
Yeah.
I don't think it is, but it is.
No, it is.
Okay, it looks like one. Yeah,
it's Neo Constitution class.
Neo Constitution. Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I like renaming that. I mean, they did that before. They did it with the A. The A was the Yorktown, wasn't it? What ship?
Well,
they renamed the Enterprise A. Was an old Constitution ship that they rechristened for the Kirk crew.
That's just it. In the OG series in TOS, the Yorktown was a ship, and then in the movies, they put it as a space station.
Well, like I said, they weren't like really tight. The canon, like
no. I'm talking about the Chris Pine movies.
Oh, what the fuck those?
I know. In Star Trek Beyond, they made the Yorktown a space station. It's a ship.
Beyond shit. That's what it was called. I only watched that one once in the theater, and it annoyed me. The whole ending annoyed me.
Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. Come on.
I would say I would have liked to have seen Janeway a cameo.
They tried.
She didn't want to do it.
No. Couldn't do it.
Okay.
Couldn't do it. That's all I can say. But they tried. She probably would have done it. She probably would have done it. Well, dude, listen. I'm blanking on her name now. The actress who plays her, Janeway. Why am I blanking?
Mulgrew.
Kate Mulgrew. I heard her speak when Star Trek Convention Las Vegas was still the Star Trek Convention, and she's as completely whacked as Marina Sirtis. They were freaking going on. It was like the worst panel I've ever been a part of. I had to walk out. I was
they're all of them are woke.
They weren't talking about Star Trek. We'll just say that.
I don't follow any of them on Twitter, and I just try to separate art from artists with them and ignore them.
I think I follow
great is Janeway. She's great.
The only Star Trek alum I follow is Shatner.
Oh yeah.
Because Shatner's pretty based, and he's funny. He's always trolling people.
Very cheeky. Yes.
Yeah.
Love that.
Teflon, that man.
So the episode, I mean, basically it just wraps up the series in the first like 30-40 minutes.
I got 10.
You got 10 minutes. I'm looking at the clock. So they find the Borg cube basically in Jupiter, and the Enterprise D is the only ship that can face off, and that was awesome when the ship's going towards the Borg Queen. The cube, it looks so freaking rad. I was like, yes. And they have to beam aboard to find Jack and also get the transmitter, which looked pretty cool, by the way. They had to do a Death Star run. Yeah, they had to do a Death Star run, and they did it. They did a damn Death Star run. So Picard, Worf, and Riker beam aboard. But there's like this, he sets up, when I first saw this, I'm like, somebody could die here. I actually thought like we might lose somebody. We might lose a member of the crew. They make you really feel that. There's some decent goodbyes, and they're all ready to die. So they go down, and this is where it becomes a father-son story. It's not really about the Borg. This is the Borg from Voyager, right? What's left over from Voyager. And it's the Borg Queen, and there's not much left. And she has been consuming her own crew just to survive, to wait out, to have this new form of Borg that's actually, she's dropped assimilation, and now it's about evolution so the Borg can procreate, but they would still be the Borg. They would still be the Borg, and it's not to assimilate, it's to annihilate everybody who's different. So they've kind of turned into the Daleks at this point. And
the Cybermen. Basically the Cybermen.
Cybermen but the Cybermen still want to, still want to convert you to the Cybermen. Yeah. Now these new Borg we're going to make this new Borg and kill you.
They're going to go around graping everyone.
Because they can procreate with each other. So now everybody else just needs to die. So that's the new mission of the Borg. Very early stages. They're not strong. The ship is only running on 30%, and most of that energy is being sent to the transmitter, and it's very lightly staffed, shall we say. There's a few here and there that are still around. But the whole walking around the Borg cube, guys, with Riker and Worf, because they separate from Picard. Picard's like, I got to stop being a captain now, and I got to go find my son. They go,
I got to be a father. I love that.
Yep.
I gotta stop being.
And that goodbye between Riker and Worf and Picard was really good. It was really, really good. Picard's still Picard, so he can't like go, I love you, man. He's like, he just says, I don't know if you know how much this means to me. And Riker like saves him and goes, yeah, I know.
Oh, tying up from the Shitty Generations movie is now the Picard name lives on.
Yes,
because he's now Jack Picard.
Jack Picard.
That's
probably
right.
Jack Crusher Picard, I would say, but
they tie up a great many things in this episode and in this series. Some of it is just through visuals because that's all they can do. But Terry really tried to fix so much of Trek in one series. It's kind of funny.
I feel if they gave Terry, they don't want to because obviously they want to push their own Star Trek because this is an anomaly, sadly, folks. Yep. But if they gave Terry another season, then he could probably do a lot more repair work.
It could. They set it up.
Yeah,
completely.
I was like, I'd give this season. I'd give that show a try.
So would I. Yeah.
Yep.
Because I like Raffi's bearable now. If they keep her in line, if they don't turn her into a fucking drugged out whore, fucking angry lesbian.
Yeah, they just want to play like a normal, like a commander, a Starfleet commander.
Yeah, Seven needs to chill the fuck out and be Seven again.
Now, after that little ending, which was nice. That was
LaForge she's an absolute cutie pie.
Oh, Sydney LaForge, she's great.
Yeah, she's cute.
She's real cute.
Yep.
The helmsman, can't remember his name, sadly, sorry, but he was fine. The Bajoran Asian helmsman. Oh, Ops, I should say. He's not Helm, he's Ops. Beg your pardon. Even that little alien girl, she was fine. They got rid of the silly Vulcan. They killed off the silly Vulcan.
she could do this thing called emote and act.
Yes,
it was very nice to see.
Although, I mean, I get why they probably renamed the Titan to the Enterprise, because I don't know how many crew members of the Titan lived. Like 10, by the end of it all.
So
but before I go,
and Lieutenant Mura. Yeah. So before you go, overall,
can we please just quickly talk about the post-credit scene?
Okay. Let me get my spoiler thing, and then I want your quick snapshot grade, whatever, 8 out of 10, whatever the fuck you want to do. So, folks, this is going to be some major spoilers if you haven't seen it. If you haven't seen it, this is the post-credit scene. Let's go, Az.
Q. Ah! I thought you were dead.
No, he says I thought the next generation would think more linear. Linear, something like that. Something to that effect.
I was expecting a line like humans think so linear or something like that. They can't expand their minds to. Q is back, and Q is very much alive, and Q's just like, oh, your father's trial's over, but yours, Jack, yours is now just beginning. So it's like Q's almost attached to the lineage of Picard now.
Yep.
In terms of making sure that humanity steers its way towards the evolution that Q believes that they can attain. So it was just so great seeing John DeLance back as Q and alive. Because I was actually thinking, I was enjoying the episode, and I was just like, oh, they fucking killed Q off at the end of season 2. I was like, fuck. And so to get that, and I was like, what's the post-credit scene going to be? Because you said, oh, wait to the post-credit scene. Because I was thinking, they've done 20 minutes. They've done a Lord of the Rings goodbye here. Everything's set up, as every character's set up. So I was like, oh no, the post-credit scene isn't going to be like, oh, the Borg Queen's actually alive, and we're gonna come and get you again. I was like, oh no. So when Jack was in his quarters, and then suddenly Q appeared, I was just like, yes, major fucking pop. I just so happy that they brought him back alive. Stupid dead. Got fucking space aids or whatever in season 2. Oh, fuck off. And to just have that John DeLance moment, and fuck yes. So yeah, overall, look, I thought the series had its issues, but I think a lot of the issues stem from the previous.
Yes.
And Terry Matalas trying to work within the previous while giving us something to love. And I, for the most part, really enjoyed this. I was actually excited to get to another episode. I was actually, which is something I haven't been with a TV show for a Western TV show, I should really say, for a good while. That
every week.
Yeah,
I look forward to the show.
Come on. And, normally I'd wait till tomorrow, but fuck that. I needed episode 10 today. Regardless of whether or not I was going to come on here, I needed to have episode 10 today to see it. And it gave me the good feels. And I think Terry, sure, he used a lot of nostalgia, but I think he used it as a repair tool, not as a sort of member berry. I think he was trying to repair a lot of damage that had been done, and this was the best way that he could really do that. So overall, I'd give the third season about 7.5 out of 10. Because don't swear, too much violence, character when it comes to Star Trek. That's what made Star Trek so unique. And that's what made the episodes that you did have the space battles so much more sort of memorable and impactful. Because Star Trek's always about, exploration and communication and these kind of elements. It's not about explosions. So if we could sort of move a little bit, your Star Trek fans they're not normies. They're Star Trek fans. They're here for those moments. They're not here for the explosions. Once in a while, give us something like that when you can't negotiate, where you can't build that relationship, and it has to devolve into a bit of a fist fight. But yeah, I think Terry Metalis did I couldn't have expected this. I really couldn't have. And even though Robert was just like, come on. I know Robert's such a good-natured man, and his heart's, he really wants to think the best of anybody, and everybody, even the ones who treat him really poorly. And so the only reason I watched this was because of Robert's. I put my faith in Robert, and I'm really glad I did, because holy shit. You could just watch this season on its own. You don't need 1 and 2.
No.
No,
you don't need any of it. Any Kurtzman.
And to attest to that, I only have watched, all I've watched other than season 3 was the first 2 episodes of season 1. And I watched a couple of YouTube clips popping up of season 2. That's it. And I had no problems.
Yeah, I watched 7 episodes of season 1, and I should have dipped after episode 5 when they killed Egypt. And season 2, I watched the first episode, and I was like, "Oh, I fucking know what you're doing."
Yeah, I haven't watched,
and so I dipped out of that, and I just saw clips after that.
I was curious of the Q stuff. I looked up like season 2 Q. I just was like, "What's he doing back?" And then I said, "Oh, fuck this." That's all I've seen, and I had no problem following along. Don't know anything about Raffi, really. I don't even think I saw any of her in season 1. Other than her like getting high on some trailer, I think is all I saw.
Completely different character by the end of the show. Like it's not even the same person.
Thank Christ. Gentlemen, I have to depart for Hot Toys. Thank you so much. Thanks, chat, can I just quickly address the chat? Is that okay? Sure. Yeah. For those of you that enjoyed the show, great. For you, those that didn't enjoy the show, that's fine. If you gave it a go, you gave it a go. For those of you that haven't been watching because you don't want to, because you're like, what I would say to you is, and feel free to tell me to fuck off, support the things that you like and make people aware of what you like. So even within a franchise that's damaged, if you like it, make that thing known that you like, because that sends the message. I have no faith for Starfleet Academy. I have no faith for Strange New World. I have no faith for Section 31 at all, because they're going to be Kurtzman Goldsman projects, and they're going to be shite.
Yep.
But this Terry Metalis stuff has been a really good effort and a really good attempt to repair a lot of damage. And sending that message, I think, speaks volumes about what we want as fans and what type of content we want. So feel free to tell me to fuck off. But that's what I believe. So even within damaged franchises, you can say that part of it I liked. And it doesn't compromise your morals, and it doesn't compromise anything. Because if we just blanket hate everything or dismiss everything, then we're not going to get anything that we actually like. That's not going to help us at all.
And you got to be honest.
You got to be honest.
That's you have to be on. If you see something you like, if I see something I like, I'm going to tell you I like it. Whether
this is what I tell people. Would you rather me lie and say I hate it?
Yeah.
I mean, then we're no different than anybody else.
Narrative.
Exactly.
Another narrative.
Exactly.
No, thank you.
But if you gave it a go and you didn't enjoy, you gave it a go.
Yeah,
you gave it a go.
Absolutely fair enough.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure. I'll see you tomorrow, Gary.
See you tomorrow,
always a pleasure, my friend.
Yeah, great seeing you.
Yeah, you take care, and I'll speak to you guys soon.
Take care. As from
Engage.
Face. Engage. Thanks,
Make
buddy.
it so.
Make it show. As is right. He's right. And ultimately, it's what we just fell down. If I didn't like it, I'd tell you I didn't like it. It's not. We pick and choose when we talk about videos. I choose my battles throughout life. I've learned that the very, very hard way. I've learned to choose my battles and see, but this is a win. It's a massive win if you choose to see it. Somebody snuck in and made something good. Had a lot to do with Terry Matalas having a lot of experience in Star Trek, working on past Star Trek. Had a lot to do with that. Had a lot to do with him being a massive fan. And, I'm sure to him, sometimes no good deed feels unpunished. I'm sure he had to play office politics that were absolutely insane, especially considering Secret Hideout, an organization I do not like. I will not like. Because of the way they have treated the Star Trek fan base, which is they basically chose one side and they told everybody else to fuck off. They turned it into a platform. I think that's abhorrent. Something you do with Star Trek, which used to speak to everyone, and that's what this show tried to do, is just speak to everyone. You might not like it, but at least it tried to speak to you with respect, which past Star Trek and quite probably future Star Trek is going to do. I saw the clip for Strange New Worlds is terrible. It's terrible.
It's not
terrible.
A good show.
Terrible show.
I hate the Enterprise in it.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all. It's too nice, and especially it's supposed to be the original OG GOAT, and it just looks like a galaxy. Inside it's like a galaxy class ship. That's not, and I can't get over that because the Enterprise is a character. If you're going to have the Enterprise as your ship, it is a character.
What made the Star Trek? What made Star Trek Picard season 3 the reunion we needed that we didn't get in the films was when the Enterprise D showed up. That completed the reunion.
I never thought that was going to happen, but even if it had just been the Titan, like I liked the Titan.
Mm-hmm.
They did a great job making the Titan a character and giving you those great ship shots that has been lacking. And you need those. That's like a big piece of Star Trek.
Absolutely. That clip. Back to that Strange New Worlds clip I saw yesterday. So they have a stinger at the end of the clip of the descendant of Khan, who is on the Enterprise. The descendant of Khan. Well, Khan is a descendant. Yeah, she's related to Khan. I don't know if I'm getting it right there, but she is.
What is this?
Yeah, she's a descendant of fucking Khan.
Is this Strange New Worlds?
In Strange New Worlds, she's a crew member, and there's a stinger at the end where she runs into James T. Kirk having trouble walking through a fucking door.
Oh yeah, discount Kirk,
and he's a himbo. He's like, she's like, you have trouble with a revolving door? He's like, I'm from space, and I'm like, oh, fuck you, no. So yeah, Kirk is going to be in season 2. They're going to make him a bitch, and
oh yeah, it's a joke, of course.
Yeah,
that guy's discount. I call him discount Kirk.
Yes, absolutely, dollar store Kirk.
Because even the Kurtzman reboot ones, like I liked most of the casting. Like what's his name? James Pine, Chris Pine.
Yeah, he was
I
fine.
thought he was fine. Yeah, I mean, he's not the GOAT, but
he was
okay.
Yeah, with a better director and better writers, it might have worked as an alternate universe, not real Star Trek. But that ain't gonna happen. That ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. They did it to themselves. But back to Star Trek Picard. Yeah, that clip pissed me off, dude. I'm like, oh, they never learn. They absolutely never learn. But what we got in this episode was resolution. This thing called resolution. They tied up as many, things that they set up as much as they could. I thought they did a very good job, but I thought the most consistent thing was the characters throughout the series. Was Picard acting like Picard and Riker acting like Riker. That's all we ever wanted. You didn't need to reinvent the wheel. As I said before, they just rediscovered it. It's a little broken. They had to clean it off. They had to fix it a little bit, and it's not perfect, but it worked. And it's your goodbye to Star Trek, one you would never think you would have. There's listen, I know there's the people rooting for a legacy series that I would certainly give a shot to if Terry Matalas ran it with absolutely no interference from anybody else. That's a lot of ifs and buts, and I think the likelihood of that happening in all reality is slim to none.
It's too bad.
Yeah.
They're going to regret it too, because all of this. What's funny is they used the hype and fact that people are actually talking about Star Trek again to announce all this dog shit.
Yep.
And it's going to be funny when all of this stuff launches and nobody watches it.
Nobody watches it.
They're going to say, how do we get this back? And the answer was right there before you.
Yep.
These people are such idiots. I wouldn't be surprised if there's resentment actually on the side of Kurtzman that people actually care again. And when, you know, they launch all of this stuff, it's going to be funny because no one's going to watch it. I'm not going to watch Star Trek, Harry Potter.
No,
that was basically what they're making. That's what they're going to do with Starfleet Academy.
That's how it was pitched. It's good God.
And then the Section 31 movies, which are probably just going to be streaming movies. Those are going to be awful. Strange New Worlds. Personally, I think that show has better intentions than the other ones, but I still don't like it. I just think it's boring and I don't like the Enterprise.
Yeah, I mean, it's better intentions by somebody who knows dick about Star Trek and hasn't taken the time to learn anything about it.
Yeah, they're trying to capture the magic of the original series, and they don't get the original series.
No,
at all. So it just doesn't work.
No, everybody talks like they're on the OC, you know, and
yes, Star Trek 90210,
right? But in Star Trek Picard, they speak to each other as crew members. So the Titan had to break off, you know, because the whole fleet's been assimilated through that system that was set up by the Borg and the Changelings to coordinate the fleet in case of for their safety, basically. So the Titan broke away from that, and Seven and Raffi and a couple of other crew, the other doctor and a couple of other crew members are able to retake the bridge who are above 25. And one of them is a cook. And he's but with some, basic pilot experience. And he's like, I'm not a pilot. I'm a cook. I had to drop out of school to run my mom's deli, and Seven's all, doesn't matter. You're the only one who can fly. Get to your station, do it, and he does it. And even when he questions again, he's like, it's us against the whole fleet. He's scared. She's like, yeah, we're probably going to die. I'm paraphrasing here, but like, do this for Earth, because once the Earth defenses are down, everybody's dead. Your mom's dead. Your dad's dead. Your family's dead. So do this for them. And it was a good little speech, and it keeps them going. They end up cloaking the Titan, and what they're trying to do is buy they find out the Enterprise D is out there, and they're trying to buy a time. So they're just running, basically doing some drive-bys, and to take some of the fire off of Earth and the station, which is getting pummeled at this point. In the meantime, Picard is off, and he finds Jack. Jack has been fully assimilated, and he's the transmitter for this new type of Borg, which again is not out to assimilate. It's out to evolve, to eventually procreate and do what the Daleks want to do. If you're not familiar with Doctor Who, Daleks are space Nazis who just want to kill anything different from them. That's it. That's their whole mission. So that's what the Borg are pretty much turning into. And again, I'm sure this was a total accident that everybody under 25 got a mind virus and got assimilated. It's still, I'm just so happy about that. And that's what they're dealing with. So the young are killing the very young and the not very old. Anybody over 25 basically is dead. They're dead. They're going to kill the old, feeble, and weak, keep the young, and start taking over the universe. And Jack is the transmitter. And Picard's ready to die again. He sees the Borg Queen, and she looks terrible. I mean, she looks cool, but like half of her face, like she's just completely mutated, and talked about being left to starve and to die. And she worked with the Changelings, who felt equally alienated by Starfleet. And Jack is Picard says, take me. She's like, I don't want you. I don't care about you. I want Jack. Jack's our son. She's all, he's my boy. He's like, you're not his mother. That was a good scene, Flash. He's like, you're not his mother. And he starts freaking just unloading.
Yeah, I like that.
Firing the phaser at her over and over again. It doesn't work, but he got mad. And it worked. It worked. So Picard decides, okay, last ditch effort. I'm going to assimilate myself. He pulls one of the cords off of Jack, puts it in his neck, and they go into some space where it's kind of like with Data when he was talking to Data. They're in some kind of electronic plane where he could speak to Jack, and Jack, who's always been never felt he belonged, always been longing for something. Well, there's an actual, that's very angsty and young, but there's an explanation for Jack because he was looking for the Borg. He was looking for the collective the whole time. So he finally seems he's pretty happy where he is. Seems that way anyway. And just to make this real quick, they have a conversation, and it's pretty clear he's going to stay. So Picard's all, okay, I'll stay with you till the end, just like a dad would. And that got Jack, that connected with Jack, and he was able to get out. In the meantime, Riker and Worf were trying to find the transmitter itself, and they're walking around what we think is dead Borg, but then like 3 or 4 of them wake up and attack Worf, and he kills the shit out of them. But he takes some shots, man. He takes some serious shots, and it looks like he's injured, but he's fighting him with it's not the Batlift. I forgot the name of the new one because they redesigned it. And it's awesome. But it had that's when we get the line, there's a phaser in the hilt. And it was there the whole time. And he said swords are fun. And then Riker shoots the rest of the Borg, and they find the transmitter. And that's when because basically they were invited in by the Borg Queen. Like Picard was invited in to witness basically his demise. But so the ship was kind of hanging out, not getting the Enterprise C was hanging out, not getting attacked. Once they started getting close to the transmitter, the Borg cube starts firing on the Enterprise, and that's when Beverly just unloads on the Borg cube. It's great.
Which was great. And I know I'm just waiting for somebody to call that a woke moment. It's like she's been gone for 20 years, and she's been doing stuff. It's established pretty quick, and it's just, who cares? It's not propped up like You Go Girl.
No, this is
it
Beverly
was a
Crusher.
good character moment for her.
A main character who was in most, not all, of the series, who has been around for decades, that people have learned to already respect. And it was just, and again, it's not like her precisely blowing up the Borg ship. She just blew the shit out of one part of it just to give them cover. Just to basically,
if anything, I thought it was like especially a good comedic moment when everyone turns around and looks at her. That was a funny moment. They got a legit chuckle out of me.
It did. I got a couple. There was quite a few chuckles in this, and that's and it balanced.
That and Worf scene, and then Worf again when he falls asleep in the chair.
I know. I'm like, I finally have feel seen. I can sit down in a chair and fall asleep immediately. It's the old man in me. It's great.
Reminded me of something like my dad would do.
Yep. Oh yeah. Well, you'll get there someday. You just sit down and share. Like, dude, I'll do it here. I'll do a stream, especially if it's a long one. I'll turn on my camera, and this chair reclines. I'll just recline and crash out for a couple of hours. Why not? Turn on some music. So she blows the shit out of part of the Borg. It doesn't destroy the ship or anything like that. And that's when, they realize they have to, Geordi gets a schematic of the Borg, and there is a path to get to the transmitter. And it's like a maze. It's like he's like, there is no way we can navigate this. And Data starts doing his fast typing thing. He's all, yeah, it's impossible, but I think I can do it. And they're like, no way. No, we're not doing this. And he pleads with Geordi. He's all, trust me. I have a gut, he basically says, I have a gut feeling about this. And they're like, and what choice do they have? So the Enterprise D does a Death Star run inside of a Borg cube, and it's fucking awesome.
I can't wait, and it's going to happen. It will happen, because of the lovely memers and editors out there. Someone's going to take that scene and put the Return of the Jedi run music in it.
Yep.
and it's going to be glorious.
Yes, it is. It's gonna be great.
That's the first thing that came across my mind. It was so obvious that's what they were inspired by there, but it was still pretty cool. It was cool seeing the Enterprise do those kind of moves because you could never see that stuff in the original series because it was models.
Yep.
So it was fun seeing them like use it and like have it do maneuvering and stuff that you never would have gotten to see so long ago, you know?
Yeah, and it was the series having fun, like trying to be fun, because that's what these things are ultimately. I mean, Star Trek's a much more serious show that, or serious, serious story than Star Wars. Star Wars has always been a little lighter, a little more fun. Star Trek has been perceived as being too dry, but if you watch it all, it's not. It's not. And they just had fun with this. So they go in, and Picard is in the Borg plane. I don't know what you call it. Just like saying, if you're gonna die, son, I'm gonna die with you. I'm here, which is a cool father-son moment. So we had a positive father-son moment. We had resolution between a father and son. You just don't see that in Hollywood these days. You just don't. And it brings Jack back, who saves his dad, and Riker and Worf are able to find Picard again. Basically, they're all going to die together. They have about a minute left. And then the freaking Enterprise D, they're on this, they're on this platform with the Borg Queen, and the Enterprise D just flies right above them inside the Borg cube. And it's a freaking great shot. It's like, holy shit, that's awesome. Star Trek music plays. They get beamed up. The Borg Queen's all, no, and she blows up, and they fly out, and you see the shields on. So the flames from the explosion, even in space, are like kind of wrapped around the Enterprise, and you see it kind of shoot out. And they make it. They sever the transmission right in time because it looked the young Borg, were about to retake the Titan, and Sydney comes back and starts freaking out, like a normal person would. And Sydney LaForge is another standout new character. I think she was Shaw's the best, but Sydney LaForge is good. Very, very good.
Yeah. She's that's the helmsman, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's really good character. I like her.
Oh, how about that scene when they have to decide? It's earlier on. So when they decide they have to destroy the transmitter, they're like, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna die. Jack's gonna die. I'm gonna die. And they look to Beverly, who remembers that first she's Starfleet. Because Troy says, we're gonna die, but if we don't, everyone else does. It's pretty obvious what they have to do, but they look to Beverly anyway, and she nods. So she just sentenced her own son to death to save Earth. And Geordi's, this is to save his two kids who are now going to be fatherless, and Riker and Troy's kids going to lose their parents, and they're all ready to go. That was a really good scene when they're like, yep, we got to do this. So it was so it's nice. They saved the day. There's no longer they did mention that one guy on the fly. They were able to retake the bridge on the Titan by firing. It's stunning them, but it beams them into the transporter room, and it trapped them there. So kind of undoes something from stupid JJ Trek, where they have that portable beaming suitcase where you can beam to fucking Kronos from Earth, which is stupid.
I hate that.
But in the 25th century, it's like, oh, you might have just invented the portable beaming device out of just, out of sheer desperation. And that made way more sense. So they were able to do that. But it worked. The fleet is like in bad shape. It's in bad shape, but they reverse all the changeling and Borg finagling they did with the transporter, And Beverly is now reinstated in Starfleet. She's an admiral. Changelings are still there, by the way. They're still around. They didn't get all of them. And Tuvok wasn't dead. So we get our Lord of the Rings ending, basically. And it's great. Did you? I don't know. I loved it. Did you like it, Flash?
Yeah, I did. I thought it was a good ending. It's a happy ending. You know, which I think after all this shit was good to have. I thought somebody was going to die. I thought Picard was going to die for sure. And it was kind of looking like he was going to, but you know, I liked how they had them all kind of close it out playing poker.
Yep.
Which was a nice callback to the final episode of the original series. You know, where they sit around and he plays poker with them for the first time. And you got to get to see a little bit of that growth that they've had since then.
Yeah, it wasn't like at the end, all good things, great. One of the greatest endings of a series ever. And it's the first time Picard is like really being sitting down and having some leisure time with his crew. And you can still, there's a little bit of awkwardness. And it shows the time has passed. And as they're playing, I mean, they stay on it for the entire first portion of the credit scene. They're just yucking it up and playing. And as the camera is like spinning around the table, it's freaking perfect. It's great. It's great. I love it. So Tuvok is okay. He's there. And he is talking to Seven, basically saying, hey, all charges are dropped after you commandeered the ship and its crew and did all these things. And Seven's like, yep, I'm ready to resign. And he's all, well, we have your performance review or recommendation. And she's like, whatever. So she looks at it and it's Shaw. So we get one more little scene with Shaw. And
yeah, that was a good scene.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, I like that. Showing that he's an asshole, but he's still, you know, a good person. And he says that in that one episode. It was like, well, you know, charm turned to being a dick.
Yeah.
It's like, well, he did respect her. He was just kind of pushing her away.
And pushing her to be better. You know, yeah. I think it was very fatherly what he was doing. So basically, I can't do Todd Stashwick any justice here. He gives us a great little scene of him just recommending 7 of 9, who he says for captain. He says, you know, he's like, she breaks the rules, but she's brave. She's loyal. You know, basically that has to count for something. And it does. And it chokes 7 up. And it gives her kind of an arc from being this angry 7 from even Picard season 1 and 2 to somebody who can actually feel and understand that somebody did have her back, even though it might have been some tough love. Tough love works sometimes. So that was really good. It was cool to see Tuvok again. Tim Russ. I'm trying to think of and Jack is now a member of Starfleet. He is on the crew of the USS Enterprise 170D-G. 1701. I'm sorry, did I say 1701? 1701-G. Which has been the Titan has been renamed in honor of Picard, who gets all choked up about it. And yeah, so he's on the bridge with Raffi's number 1. 7 of 9 is the captain. Sidney LaForge is there. And Jack is a special counselor to the captain. And they take off on their little adventures. Then we get the poker scene. That's at the end. And then we get that post-credit scene that we were talking about where Q comes back. And they undo this. I mean, like, there's been a lot of stupid in Kurtzman Trek. I mean, I couldn't.
It makes no sense that he died.
Yeah.
Is losing his powers. Dumb. Makes no sense. And it does make sense that he'd fake his death and make a game out of that shit just to still be around and now fuck with Picard's kid.
Yes. And
that makes sense.
Jack recognizes him as he's like, you're Q. My dad's told me about you. I thought the trial for humanity ended. And he basically says, yeah, through Picard it did, but through you, it begins again, and you've got so much to do. And that's where it ends. And it was great. It was absolutely great to see Q come back in that way and fix that fuck up. They couldn't fix everything. And I know you said you give it like an 8 out of 10. I give it 7.5, 8 out of 10 for sure. And I'd watch it again. But as said, if you didn't like it for, structural reasons, story reasons, that's a normal reason not to like something. A lot of it wasn't filled with intersectional feminism and identity politics. And it wasn't a shit story too, because not every Kurtzman Trek episode, believe it or not, has, I can't say that. They don't all have, no, I can't say that either. Most of them have identity politics and intersectional feminism, but they're also shit. They're also written like shit. Like the dialogue is garbage. They forget their own canon. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And the ships look like crap. They look like can openers in space. So to have something that was linear, something that had character work, that was character driven, was nice to see. Unexpected, total anomaly though.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it it's definitely not, a masterpiece of writing, but it's got a lot of good things going for it. Things we haven't seen in a long time in Star Trek. It's got the heart of Star Trek, I think, in it. It treats characters with some respect. It doesn't preach at you. And unlike Star Wars, which only needed to put a couple of people on the bridge of a ship or in the cockpit of a ship, it actually managed to do what that shit Disney Star Wars has never done in the decade that they've owned Star Wars. They put the entire cast together in one room on the bridge of the Enterprise. It reminds me of that meme where, they have Luke, Han, and Leia and Lando in the cockpit of the Falcon.
Oh, you retweeted that. Yeah, that was I retweeted you.
It's like one show actually did it. One show actually did it.
How different things would have been. Oh my God. I don't think it still would have helped. And it wasn't, and I know you know this, but like for everybody else out there, it wasn't, who hasn't seen it. It wasn't just that they were on the bridge together. It's building the momentum to that scene meant something.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the scene. The scene meant something by itself. Right. And it was also, here you go, fans. You deserve this. Thank you for supporting this franchise for so damn long. At least we can do. Yeah,
I like the ship. I like that the ship is sitting in a museum now and not wasted on Viridian 3 with that stupid, awful death that meant nothing. That death meant nothing when you compare it, because we've seen 2 Enterprises get destroyed, and the destruction of the original Enterprise in Star Trek 3 was a great death. It was a great death. I mean, you could tell it was eating at Kirk. Kirk's watching that ship like, what have I done? And then, and then in Generations, Picard could give a shit that thing was destroyed. He's like just throwing things around and could care less. It was done for stupid reasons.
That was horrible. God, I hate that movie. Oh, I hate
fixed it
as much as I hate Kurtzman Trek. I won't own it. I won't watch it. I won't acknowledge its existence. I was so mad when I got out of that.
It was cheaper to buy the box set than to buy just a couple of them.
Yeah. Well, I've done that a couple times. What I've done is I buy the box set and I just return it. I take the half price books and get like $1 credit on a paperback or something like that. I'm fine. I got a Conan paperback. Money well spent in my eyes. Hey, can you want to hang out for some super chats, dude?
Yeah, I can hang out for a little bit.
Yeah. Just tell me when you need to go. Chris, I don't know if Chris is going to make it because he's on the Pacific time zone. So like getting a link from me was at like 9 a.m. for.
He's going to come on Saturday too.
Oh, good.
Yeah. At least he said he was. I'm going to follow up with him again tomorrow.
Yeah. I should be packed by then and ready to go. So I can jump on. I can definitely jump on. I'm leaving the next morning though for Vegas early. So because we're driving there in like 2 days, which I love. I can't wait to hit the road. I can't wait to go touch some pavement.
It's not that far for you though. I think. How long is the drive to Vegas?
It's 18 hours. It's pretty far.
Oh, it's like 25 for me.
Oh yeah. I'm in like, I've finally figured out like kind of Texas because dude, I didn't visit here a lot before I moved here. I've once. So you just don't realize how effing big it is.
It's huge.
Huge. So I'm south. I'm pretty south. I mean, it's, I guess, more central, but it's south central. Yeah, it takes you 9 hours to get out of the state. Holy shit. So yeah, but then once you hit New Mexico and Arizona, it's pretty easy from there. But yeah, 25 hours is a long way, dude.
Yeah, you have to stop. Like with you, 18, you and your wife, if you're like switching on and off, you guys could do it in a day.
We make it to Scottsdale in a day, then we chill. Hang out in Scottsdale for a little bit.
That's the better way to do it. But you can do it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we did San Diego in a day. We just slept for a couple hours at a rest stop where it was 30 degrees. And yeah. All right, let's do some super dupers. We'll start with a donation from Matthew Hammond. Oh, it's 420. Smoke up, stoners. I have two things. Can we say how great Gary's projector setup looks? The end of the era of with the end of the era for TNG. Thank you. Well, Mrs. Nerdrotic had that all set up for me when I moved here, because she moved ahead of me a few months, and that was like a birthday present. So gotta thank Mrs. Nerdrotic. That thing is dope. I don't need to go to movie theaters anymore. It's freaking awesome. You can continue the greatness by starting Stargate on Blu-ray. I will, and that's where I'll watch it. Ask Garrett about his thoughts on the United Postal Service on FNT. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, because they fucked up his mail. They fucked up his mail. Quarter Black is the poor guy. I sent him my footage last night to edit at like 11:45. Come on, get on it. I'm such a dick. But that's part of the job. The good part is Flash. He can he gets like 3 days off after that. So I give him time. We got Rob Attican for $10. Fun nitpicking. So glad it's back. From a Navy family, so I love ships. Renaming a ship is bad luck. I say USS Picard, a new ship. I like capital ships that are big, hulky, slow to move. The D is now as agile as the Defiant on HD Death Star. Yes, and I know it's ridiculous.
Well, they, like I said, they did that in the movies. The A, I don't remember what ship it was. I think it's the Yorktown, but I could be wrong. But the Enterprise A is a rechristened ship. That's how it got made so quick.
I thought it was, but I could be wrong. Listen, I'm not against the capital ships. I want them to exist, but I don't want that. I don't want to be. It's like watching the Love Boat. Okay, I don't hate the Love Boat. The boat. It's the boat of love, but I don't want to watch it go in the battle. Okay, just saying.
Okay, somebody did say it was the Yorktown. Okay,
Yorktown. There you
go. I thought so.
Cheers. Rob Atkin, one more time for $10 on the donation side, circumventing Mama. Oh, I'm sorry. Papa YouTube. We'll say Papa YouTube. I woke up at 3 a.m. to watch it. Now I didn't hate it, but initial gut reaction, I was whelmed. A fine, fun episode, but not nearly as emotional as All Good Things or Star Trek 6. That's my opinion. Very happy if others don't agree. Well, no, I mean, like All Good Things is, again, one of the greatest series finales ever of a TV show, objectively. Yeah. And Star Trek 6 is a beautiful send-off in a movie that's as good as Wrath of Khan. So no, it doesn't measure up to that, but it's still good.
Same director too.
Same director. Nicholas Meyer. I love Star Trek 6. Son of a Biscuit for $10 says, it was epic and funny. I had tears of joy, was choked up the entire episode. Wish I was able to see it in a theater. What an amazing love letter to the fans of real Star Trek. Thanks for convincing me to watch. Keep up the good work, my fellow San Antonian. Hail to you, and thank you. Hey, I was the same way. I saw the trailers, was not impressed at all. As a matter of fact, it looked like more of the same to me. So I'm like, I'm going to roast the shit out of this. And I'm going to see it through. And that was pretty much going to be it for Star Trek, because I don't cover Strange New Worlds. I watched 4 episodes and I was out. I was like, this is just more terrible. I don't have anything new to say that I didn't say in my Star Trek Discovery or Star Trek Picard. I still owe people a Picard. I still owe all of you a Picard review of season 1 and 2, which I'll absolutely do because it's shit. But it's going to be like Mahler. I mean, not as good as Mahler. I'm not as good as Mahler, but it will be like long. It'll be very, very long video. That's why it takes a long time. But then I'll probably follow it up with Star Trek Picard season 3 one someday. But that being said, I was done. And through a miracle of time and space, I was able to see the 10 episodes for the accusations of being a shill, which might be my favorite accusation this year. I mean, I've been called a lot of stuff, but that's my favorite. That's got to be my favorite, that I'm a shilly shill now. Well, still blocked by the entire Star Trek franchise on Twitter. There's that. Persona non grata at any of the events. I'm not supposed to. Robert was denied access to the premiere and snuck in as a +1. Okay.
Is that for the
premiere
IMAX?
3? Yeah,
Okay.
No, not for the IMAX, for their screening of the premiere episode. He was denied access. He asked for access and they said, nope, you are not coming. And he's been allowed to come to a lot of stuff before. So he snuck in as a +1. Yeah. And like, yeah, I'm persona non grata, still will be forever. Don't care. And in the long run, this isn't going to help Kurtzman. He can piggyback all the announcements he wants. He still makes shit. This will not make his shit not shit. It will remain shit, and everybody will notice it. And none of it. By the way, Star Trek Picard hit the Nielsen charts. First time Star Trek has hit the Nielsen charts. Maybe it hit it. I don't know if they weren't tracking streaming when Discovery came out. It was the first Star Trek show, I believe, to hit the Nielsen charts. On the originals, it's number 7 or 8. That's pretty impressive. And none of them will hit it again. Strange New Worlds will suck.
Yep. If anything, it's going to make him look worse, because they're going to look at this and say, well, how come none of this new shit you're making how come none of this has got the ratings and the hype that Picard season 3 had?
Right. And you're right. T of Toys for £2 Star Trek Strange New Worlds and Disco can't be canon. Literally poops on Spock. Oh, wait till season 2 when they and I agree. They shit on one of my all-time favorite characters. Now they're going to shit on Kirk. You ready for that? So we get the high of Picard season 3 and they show respect. They're going to follow that up by shitting on Captain Kirk. Now nobody's going to accept this guy as Captain Kirk. He doesn't look like William Shatner. He looks like a guest star from the OC.
He looks nothing like a Kirk should look like.
No.
And they're going to for sure make him bisexual.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
Absolutely.
He's the new lad. I fuck robots too.
Yep. He'll be pansexual Kirk. Justin 34 for $5 says this season had flaws, but overall a strong 8 out of 5 out of 10. Wish they would do more with the movie. It was fun. Thanks for the honest opinions. You are welcome. It's my pleasure. Honesty above all. You know, it doesn't affect me. Like, people are so checked out of Star Trek, like financially, it doesn't matter. It's like, it doesn't matter. I'm talking about, this is a labor of love. I'm talking about it because it's fun. And it's nice to talk about some good stuff. Financially, though, but like as far as the pop culture war and the Star Trek and the pop culture zeitgeist and all that shit, of whatever people's motivations are, it's just not there. Objectively, it's just not there. I think what's been said about Star Trek has been said. Alex Kurtzman has been renewed. He won his contract. He won his money. He doesn't give a fuck about the Star Trek legacy. He just cares about his bank account. And when he's done, he'll have destroyed an IP, just like Kathleen Kennedy will have destroyed a big IP. Sad but true. Now, after that, I doubt they'll ever get work again. You know, how's JJ doing? How many projects is he doing right now? His mentor. Not many.
Yeah, the only thing I've heard of him working on is the outsourced Batman cartoon.
Yep. Which he's just an EP on, right? So I mean, it's gonna suck. The woke Batman animated series can't wait to miss that. Mm-hmm.
Isn't Bruce Timm involved with it though?
Yep, but not Paul Dini.
Bruce Timm still makes some pretty good stuff.
He does.
Some of those animated movies he was ahead of. Some of those DC animated movies are really good.
Yes, they are.
Have you seen some of those?
Oh yeah, I own a lot.
Some of them. Yeah, some of them are really good.
But have you seen
even like the All-Star? Which one?
Have you seen the interviews for the show?
No.
When they start talking about the show? Yeah, kill all hope immediately.
I'll have to look into it.
Hope and just put it towards something else.
I think it's a cool idea because it's basically like a 1930s Batman, isn't it?
It's a 1930s Batman, very inclusive, made for a modern audience.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit.
Yep.
Come on, Bruce.
Get Paul Dini in there. Paul Dini still knows how to write. Henry Perez for $2. Can we give it up to Space Doc for being badass? Yes, we can. It somehow survived. Somehow it survived.
Yeah, I was shocked by that because it blew up. I was pretty sure.
they Space Doc. Whoever runs Space Doc is a complete badass.
How the hell did they move the old Space Dock, by the way? Does it have warp drive?
You can tow it.
Can you tow things in warp drive?
It depends on how far. Where was it? Yeah, they would have to be.
I don't even know where the museum is. It's not by Earth though, apparently, because they had to warp.
I would think yes. I think if you have like a tugboat, like a version of a tugboat in space, yes, I think.
I guess maybe if you put enough ships around it, you could extend the warp field.
Yeah.
It's a question I would like answered. Is how did you move?
I mean, it's the going in and coming out part that would be because you're speeding up and slowing down from warp speed, and shit doesn't stop on a dime in space, unless you're in a Marvel movie. But yeah, in the Nova Corps, Expanse dealt with that the best. The series didn't end the best, but as far as like physics and space and being close, they were probably the best at dealing with that stuff. Happy I listened to you and watched this. How long has it been since Hollywood has portrayed true hope, heroic, and fun? With the exception of Top Gun. Not long, but what we're seeing during this complete, thank you, Novacor, for $5, during this complete woke garbage era, is you're seeing like little signs of why things were successful in the past, and those little signs are clearing a path for anybody who chooses to take it. That's very important. So the change is coming, and we've gotten Spider-Man No Way Home. I'm going to name some stuff that I personally don't like, but like objectively, it's very popular. All right. So Spider-Man No Way Home, Avatar 2 came out. Didn't like the movie at all. Don't like Avatar, but people like it. That's fine. We also had Top Gun Maverick, which I absolutely loved. And I liked Everything Everywhere All at Once. Top Gun Maverick should have been Best Picture. End of story. But who cares? Fuck the Oscars. And then we have Mario Brothers. You know, it's a kid's movie to me. I'm not familiar with Nintendo, but dude, obviously people love this movie and it's going to be very successful. It's going to be a very successful franchise, and it's in the process of blowing up. And if they do something smart, like in their next movie, write a more intricate story and actually, you know, make it better as it goes along, it'll only just make it bigger. That's all. If they take the time to write a story with a little more connectivity and a little more heart, and it'll only serve to better the franchise and make it even more popular than it is now. And then you have this little Star Trek thing pop up, this weird Star Trek thing anomaly. And it's just pure, like, we're going to respect the fans. We're going to respect legacy characters, everything we've asked for. And it's not perfect, but it made a lot of people happy. The overwhelming majority of people happy. So So you have, and they're still out there, believe me, there's very resentful Star Trek fans that I was able to watch this early, although it had nothing to do with Paramount. Like Paramount did not give me anything. Okay. Can't say where I got it from, but it wasn't from Paramount. And they're angry and pissed. But ultimately, we're just talking about liking Star Trek. And yeah, there's still some morons out there who see any difference of opinion as racism and white supremacy. There's always going to be those morons out there. Nothing you can do about them. But most people will like it. Amy Johnson, we have a GoFundMe, but YouTube won't post. I'm a big fan. Lost everything in a fire Monday. And then Beverly said the powers map, but that's another one. Amy, send me an email. Sorry to hear about that. Send me an email. I'm sorry that happened. And I'm sorry I have to do this, but I have to look at every GoFundMe before I put it up. A
lot of shady ones out there. It's
so many shady things going on. I'm not saying you are, but I have to be careful because this audience here is not, they're here to enjoy Star Trek and stuff. And they've all helped in the past. The very generous fellowship. We love you to death, but we just got to make sure everything's up and up. That's all. I'm sorry, but I'm so sorry. You're okay though. That's the important thing is you're okay. K Girl for $2 says, and then Beverly said, "This is the power of math." She didn't say that, thank God. Andre Benson for $5. I don't care what some are saying. The Enterprise flying through the Borg ship looking like Star Wars. That was the most fire epic scene in history. There you go. Have fun. It's okay to have fun.
The whole series has been fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is dumb things in it. Like personally, I thought the Data running the security for the space station was stupid. Daystrom. I mean, why would you put a broken android in control of your most powerful weapons? That kind of was strange to me.
I think what they didn't explain enough was it was just the dormant positronic brain part. So the basic computer elements of Data with still a smidgen of AI. It required more explanation.
It did, well, because I mean he had Moriarty shooting at people.
Yeah. So that's
what to say he could have went out.
Yeah,
he could have broke out and started shooting everybody working on the space station.
The only hint they gave was, and I'm sorry, I'm the Vulcan gangster, the guy from 12 Monkeys.
I loved him.
He was great. He said, and he's great in 12 Monkeys, by the way. He said that the AI system had some flaws that were illogical. So Flash is pointing out how illogical it was to have Data's AI run the super secret Section 31 base. But listen, at least they weren't walking around with Section 31 badges on.
James Bond wearing a 007 badge.
I know, with his 007 discount card, going to go get groceries. My secret agent discount card.
Here's my license to kill.
Hey, Marvel did it too, because apparently Nick Fury's famous because Miss Marvel recognized him in the trailer. It's like, how does that happen? I cried when they saved Picard, says Craig Rowe Jr. for $10. I was smiling. Like the Enterprise D scene on the bridge, I'm just like shit-eating grin on my face. I'm just happy. I was happy. I felt that they should have kept the name USS Titan to honor Captain Shaw and everything he did for the ship and crew. He did 36 missions flawlessly. Accident seller for 59 Norwegian krona. Either way, Shaw is such a popular. Do you keep him dead? I'd keep him dead rather than have him come back in a Kurtzman product, right?
Yeah.
You know,
let him go out, but I'm sure the actor would like him to come back.
Oh God, yeah.
It's more work, right? But if I'll tell you, like if Terry gets a project, I would watch it.
Yep.
Because the guy's proven to me now that, he can handle this. But anybody else, I definitely would also need multiple people to tell me to check it out before I would even consider it. Because that's the only reason I checked this out is because of like you and like 4 other people telling me, yes, it's good. Check it out. It's good.
Yeah, and with me it was Robert, but he like Robert, I love you, brother, but we disagree on a lot of Marvel stuff. So I'm like, okay, still not totally believing it. Then Colin chimes in. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he was one of them.
Yeah. Okay. Robert, I love you. But I was not convinced by Robert. I was convinced by Robert and Cullen. So I'm like, okay, I'll try it.
This makes me wonder how much word of mouth is going to carry this show as time goes on and its numbers going up. So I bet you a lot of people will watch this compared to other shows. Like I bet you it's going to keep getting people coming to watch it over the next year, because I can only imagine how much word of mouth has pushed this, because I know I got people to watch it and they told people to watch it. It's been like a chain reaction.
Yeah. And now that it's all here, and God, I hope Jeremy's not listening. For one, it absolutely benefited from being released weekly. We had people talking about it every week for 10 weeks.
Yeah.
10 weeks. There's been live shows, reaction shows, videos from Colin, Robert Meyer Burnett. Flash has been talking about it on Flashcast. I've been talking about it on FNT. I've been doing live reviews over on Nerdrotic Live. This video will be over there when it's done. And so on. So that is advertising you cannot buy. It's free when your shit is good. When your shit is good. Now that it's all done, though, this is much better viewed. If you can binge 10 episodes or at least 5, it's much better viewed that way.
The first 4, especially.
Yeah. Yeah.
The first 4 are still my favorite, especially that scene where they come out and all the little space babies show up. That's pure fucking Star Trek, man.
Yep.
That is pure Star Trek.
Got new life.
Yeah. I think that was the best episode of the series. Like looking at it all as a whole, was that scene like where they get out, they throw that that meteor at Vadic's ship, and then they come out and all those little space babies are there. It reminded me of some ways like the Farpoint episode.
Yeah, Counter Farpoint. Yep. Absolutely. They even mention it, in that I think it's that episode. Yeah. David Chadwick for $4.99. I don't want any part of some bullshit Enterprise show without Shaw. Hard pass. There you go. Got to have Shaw. People want Shaw. Yeah, I think if you're going to do Legacy, you'd have to find a way to bring Shaw back. There is a story that I cannot tell. I am not the one who can tell this story about a character. I'll just say it's a character that died that they were going to try to make not die. Probably be pretty easy to guess, but that's as much as I can say until the person decides to tell that story. But there was one character who died that they wanted not to die, and they were going to try to fix it. Nerds Gold for $10. This is two-parter, so it's $20. I'll defend the Enterprise F if it was basically a conglomeration of every other Enterprise, from the NX-01 refit to the E, even some of the Voyager. Depending on what angle you viewed it from, it showed similarities to them all. It kind of did. I mean, it had a Voyager-ish look to it. But much bigger. Overall, that didn't make for a great ship, but I saw what they tried to do. Yeah, I didn't like the E either. I was not a fan of the E. But I'm a Constitution kid, okay? That's what I grew up on. 3 Beer Thunder for $19.99. Definitely off topic, but found out the oil rig I'm moving to is going 7 miles from Skinwalker Ranch. I'll let you know Sunday if anything strange happens. Oh, dude. Yeah, let me know. Oh, let me know. Well, then you must be in the... Okay. I might have looked at Skinwalker Ranch on Google Maps, and I might know the oil fields you speak of. I mean, they're pretty easy to see. It's pretty easy to find. Dude, good luck out there. Be safe. Make lots of money, brother.
There's a hilarious Skinwalker Ranch video on YouTube. I wish I could pull it up because I don't remember the name of the channel, but they just camp out by it and try to do these seances, and they're really goofy about it. It's funny.
Oh, that's funny. I love that show. I fucking love that show. I watched the premiere. I adored it. We did a Forbidden Frontier on it. Don't believe everything on it, but I love talking about that stuff. Accident Seller for I read that one. Oh, wait, no, I didn't. Can we appreciate just how timeless the Enterprise D bridge looks, even with the carpet? Not 80s cheesy at all. Great design, looks comfortable as fuck. I totally agree. Accident Seller 59 Norwegian krona. That's the one thing Orville got. The Orville got the comfort of 80s, 90s Star Trek, and was able to do it aesthetically with bright lights with no problem. So that's why, I don't buy the darker argument at all. And they're all, well, the Orville's, kind of silly. And I'm like, not in every episode. They get pretty serious now. I wasn't as big of I'm not the biggest fan of season 3, but I like some episodes in it, but I'm not the biggest fan of season 3. Season 2 was awesome. The Grizzly for $20. As a kid who grew up on Reading Rainbow because I didn't have cable on the farm, it was super disappointing to hear Geordie LaForge prattle on about wokeness. Kind of like finding out Mr. Rogers is a closeted neo-Yahtzee. Yeah, dude. His that's why actors like really need to shut the fuck up. Okay, Marita Sirtis sound like quite frankly a retard. And when he came out and said there's no such thing as consequence culture, or there's no such thing as cancel culture, there's consequence culture.
LaForge, LeVar Burton. Yeah, it's a good thing. Shut up.
Is it? Ask Jonathan Majors if that's a good thing. Now, he might be guilty as fuck. I don't know. But right now, I don't know. And he's lost everything. How about that guy from Rick and Morty? He might have done so. I don't know everything he's done, but according to the law, he's not guilty. Lost everything.
Yeah. Majors is, you shouldn't lose. You should go through court first, and then then it's different. But I hate this. This could all be bullshit. The man's now lost jobs, regardless, because they're going to recast for stuff.
Yeah. Yep. And these motherfuckers love to talk about justice. That's what we're supposed to do. It's about justice. It's about getting actual, honest justice.
We just sat through the Johnny Depp trial not that long ago. So, I mean, you think that we would learn a little bit. Though I will say some of the stuff that's coming out on Majors doesn't look very good.
Doesn't look good.
Those text messages didn't look good either.
Nope. And quite frankly, with the I don't know if they're real though. With the dude from Rick and Morty, there's some pretty sketchy DMs.
Yeah,
that could be faked. So I don't know.
It's true. Yeah, I could go make a whole text message conversation if I wanted to right now. Yeah. It's not hard to do. There's websites that will do it. Like joke text. You can make joke tweets. Like some people put them in thumbnails. Like I've done it. Put a joke, a joke tweet in a thumbnail.
You could pretty much. I mean, you can figure it out. All right, if it's a joke, I laugh every time. I love your thumbnails, by the way. Legendary.
Thank you. Yours are good too. I like your big eyes.
Roy Price, that's another example. Former Disney exec, started Amazon Prime streaming. Was the guy who got the rights to Rings of Power, Conan, The Boys, Invincible. Was an actual fan. Was at a Jeff Bezos event, told a dick joke that was like self-referential. It was like about he was making fun of himself. Somebody decided to purposefully misinterpret it and use it to get him fired, which it did. Ruined his life. A self-referential dick joke at a party. Guy lost everything. So is that consequence culture, LeVar? I think that's fucking bullshit culture. That's what it is. Danny Chadwick for $1.99. 1701 girl makes me want to hurt. Titan forever. Titan forever. The Grizzly for $20 says The Mandalorian is cringe. I barely made it through season 2, but I didn't even watch Boba Fett. Oh, and I don't have Twitter account. I chose not to have one, seeing what it was doing to my late millennial, early Gen Z crowd. That's smart. It's actually smart. I go in there a few times, once in a while, but I'll still go like almost an entire day without going on Twitter, which is way more than I used to only go an hour on. I don't spend hours on it. I just thumb through it for a minute and leave. But yeah, I'm just hanging around to see if it becomes Flash a viable video alternative to YouTube, which it keeps saying it's going to do.
With Spotify?
No, Twitter.
Oh, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, Spotify thought they were going to do it too. Spotify, you can upload video on Spotify now.
Oh, you can?
You can. You got to do it through. It's like Restream. They have a site they have their own site that's kind of like Restream, where you can put in your podcast feed, and then you can put in a video, and so like your live streams will be, people can listen and watch on Spotify. They started it back in March, I think, with no fanfare at all. They called me and let me know. They're like, we're going to start doing it if you want to start putting videos up. I'm like, why'd you call me? I mean, I'm on Spotify, but I have no idea how many people follow me. And they're like, oh, you got enough people following you. I'm all, really? I had no idea. I never checked. But I guess a lot of people. So yeah, it's there. The problem is YouTube is so far ahead of everybody, folks. It sucks to say. So go to your alternatives, try to give them a shot, see if they got a shot, and they can become like a distant second, which I think would be good enough, to be honest with you. You know, if something like Rumble becomes a distant second, that's healthy, that's good. But ooh, man. It is going to take time. Like, listen, it took YouTube. YouTube's old. YouTube's about to be 20 years old. They have a little bit of a head start. All right. We got $50 from Robert McDonald. Here's for being the #1 shill for the fans because you like us. You too are a fan. That's right. I'm just a fan. Robert, thanks, man. I'll shill for you guys any day. I have been chilling for you. I'll shill for you. I prefer not to hear Captain Seven's first command than stupid. Oh, I know. That was perfect. And I don't know if you watched the cut of Strange New Worlds before the episode Flash, but they have Spock's first command in the captain chair, and they're like, everybody has the thing, the word. And he goes, I would like you to make the ship go now. And it was fucking cringe. So at the end of this episode, they have, Seven's first command, and they don't show it, which was great.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yep.
I like that.
Somebody
said that it should be commence. Actually, that kind of works too. I saw that. It's from Rat Child UK.
Terry Metalis and Seth MacFarlane, money for CBS. Well, Seth MacFarlane has all the money. I think he's got most of Hollywood's money right now. Terry, they've got him for now, but after this, he's going to start getting tons of job offers. So the window is shutting very soon. That's just my opinion. That's pure speculation. But his name is going to be very hot. Was a bit put off by the Borg revelation episode 9, but gave 10 a chance. Wasn't too bad until they revealed the Titan's rename. Makes zero sense. Couldn't you call it the USS Picard? 2 Pierce Knight for $10. I didn't mind it. Didn't bother me at all.
No, I like that all the legacy characters are on an Enterprise. I like that. Works for me.
Yep.
You got a LaForge on there. You got a Picard on there. I like that.
Which franchise has a brighter future, Star Wars or Star Trek? Eric John, pizza artist? Neither.
Yeah, neither.
It's pretty dark.
Star Trek could be okay if they would give this fucking guy some work.
Yeah, there's a path to success. But to be quite honest, there was a path to success for Disney Star Wars too. Wouldn't have been the one I liked, but I'm not going to deny it could have been successful, and they chose not to take it. So they're fucked. Accidental Seller for 119 Norwegian krona. Great episode and season, but who was talking head? It had a male voice, and Enterprise D moved too fast in the video game. Should have had more front views of the moves more slowly, gracefully through the Borg cube. Okay.
Which game?
He said Enterprise D moved fast and video gamey, but he didn't say which game.
Oh.
And what's the male voice? It was Chekhov's son, who was the president of Earth. It was Walter Koenig.
Yeah, I'm glad I thought that was him. It sounded like him. Like, this guy's doing a great. Either way, I was happy. Okay, this is cool. You're putting a OG Star Trek member in here, but I'm glad that was Walter Koenig.
Yeah, very short man. Stood next to him in Las Vegas. He's tiny. Corwin's pattern goes for $10. Please, for the love of all of the holy, protect Terry Metalis at all costs and keep Kurtzman and Goldsman away from whatever comes after Picard season 3. Too late. They had their claws in it before then, and these series that you're hearing were all happening before Picard season 3 even came out.
They just used the popularity of this show to try to booster that and get excitement for it, and it's not going to work. Because maybe some of these people that have come back will watch one episode of this dog shit and they'll quickly right out. They're gone.
Dr. Scooter Jones for $1.99 says, I will make it a threesome. That was a great line. Gary's Wizard Beard for $5.55 Canadian. Because I trust your take, I watched Picard, really enjoyed it. Oh, cool. I'm glad. I didn't let you down. I mean, I'm not always going to be right. Okay. You're not always going to agree with me. Gremlin Paldikin for $5. Thanks for vouching for season 3, Gary. Watching it gave me a brief moment of happiness. I was able to properly grieve the passing of our dear friend. And that's exactly how I look at it. It's so bad, but that's true. Florian Frew for 10 British pounds. It started with him. It ended with him. 11 out of 10. Awesome. Kinnled Hard. What is this? Kinnel Hard R2D. $4.99. Almost passed on Picard season 3 until I heard you guys, and I'm grateful I didn't. Plus, bought complete next gen video DVD collection. Hail! Oh, and you will see. Wow, did you get the DVD or Blu-ray?
I've got the Blu-ray. It's in that big box. It's got the Enterprise on the outside of it.
So you got Robert Meyer Burnett's special features.
Is that in there?
Yeah, he made them. He helped make them. Cool. Yeah, he helped make the ones for Lord of the Rings too. Like as far as he's made like 2 of the greatest special features ever for Blu-rays. So
I wish the original series box set matched it because they look so out of place together. Such a nerdy nitpick, but because the original series Blu-ray box set is like this little clamshell thing.
Yep.
You know, but the next generation box set is really nice and
proper.
You know, it's got a cover and you can slide on and off. I like it.
I wish they fucking make DS9 Blu-ray, as much less a 4K. You know, I've got the DVDs.
From what I understand, the special effects it's the same problem with the motion picture.
It would require a lot of work, which they're going to do anyway for streaming. So put it on fucking physical media. You know, I've gotten nuts with physical media lately. Absolutely insane. I've been just buying it all up, and that's mostly what I watch now. Like, I don't fire up my streaming bullshit unless I have to.
Yeah, it looks better and sounds better on disc because it's
for sure. Oh.
The words coming. It's not like restricted or constrained because you have to make it fit through streaming. You know, the discs are all loose. You can use as much data as you want. Well, as much as will fit on those discs.
No, you won't get to. I mean, there's still pixelation, but not as much as streaming. Streaming quality, they can call it UHD all they want. It is
compressed.
It's compressed.
That's the word I was looking for.
Highly compressed. Now things are compressed on Blu-rays and especially on DVD as well, but not to the point where I'd say the only streaming service that does quality 4K is Netflix.
You got to pay for it.
Yeah, you got to pay for it. I read that one. Nerds Gold. I loved that they worked in the original crew with President Anton Chekhov quoting his father, quoting Kirk, quoting Spock. I know. I loved it. Bring on Star Trek Phase 3, says Joe Doyen. All right. How you doing, man?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah, I'm all right.
All right. Let me see.
Oh, I see you had something in the. Oh, there's Chris Gore.
Is he here? Oh, he's here. Holy shit.
Dude.
Hey.
Dude, what's going on?
What's up, brother?
Oh, man. First of all, you said be here at 11 a.m. and I thought I got confused on the time zones. So my apologies.
So did I.
I was like, 11 a.m. I'll be on time. And then here I am wearing the wrong shirt. So
why are you trying to give us bad feelings? We just watched a great episode.
Wait, you know what? I'm gonna change it.
Go change it.
I'm gonna change it. F it. I'm changing it right fucking now.
Take it off.
Take it off, baby.
I literally just finished watching it.
Oh, you did. So you got the hot take ready to go.
Oh my god. Okay, wait. I got to get the proper shirt on here to do this. It's still gonna be off, but whatever. I don't care. All right. Now I feel much better. A little Kirk in there.
That's better.
There you go. It's better. I just finished watching it. I can't. So just emotional, quick first take. I was so moved just watching it just because I'm like, oh, this is just what we've always wanted. This is not just the Star Trek show, but just in terms of entertainment. I can't even remember feeling this way maybe in so long, maybe a decade. Like, I don't know, like in terms of Star Trek. And it's the best Next Generation movie, in the little 1 hour, 40, 50 minute increments. There were just so many satisfying moments. Even the humor, swords are fun. I mean, that line, I know you've seen it a couple times, Gary. This is my first time seeing it. And I want it on 4K. I was overhearing you guys talk about streaming and how streaming's not, it gets pixel. It's lame. Yeah. I want this on 4K. I want it with extras. I want to see an Enterprise Legacy show with the Enterprise G, all of that. But just every character had great moments. Even the Chekhov, there are no Lizzo castings in this, right? Like, and it's weird how, like, as Star Wars is in such decline, like dramatic decline, and then you see, look, I've been no fan of the new Star Trek either, with the exception of this, because I feel this is so satisfying, just in so many ways, just respecting the legacy characters, giving them all moments. And a movie, if there was a new Star Trek The Next Generation movie, say 2-hour movie, you wouldn't be able to give every character their moments. Yeah, swords are fun though. Like that, someone get that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Like, I love it. There are just so many great Riker. Every character had great moments. And, it's to me like the thing, a show is really good when it's not an action sequence. It's not like some special effects, big spectacle, because we're used to that. We're used to that always being good. It's when people are sitting talking in a room and you're so engaged and hanging on every line. And that was the case for this. I really want to watch the last 2 episodes back to back again.
Yeah.
I'll probably do that after this stream.
I want to binge the whole series.
Yeah.
Probably not. It's going to be tough to find the time to do it, but
right.
I'm going to try to rewatch it this week. I think at least 1 episode a night.
Yeah.
I want to watch the whole thing like back to back as much as I can, just to see how it feels the second time.
But I did like every single episode of this series, there was a cliffhanger. It just made you want to like, oh, I can't wait to. There was I didn't binge it. Obviously, I just watched it week to week because I got Paramount Plus, and it was just everything ended on a like, well, what's going to happen next? That's what great storytelling does. Not to mention just, it's just on so many levels so good. The music, where music was used and when it was used, and which themes were used. in so many great ways. And then I didn't even expect that little sort of epilogue ending with the Enterprise. I'm sorry, we're talking spoilers.
We are.
Yeah.
We're
Enterprise
waiting.
G. Holy, it was just, I just sat there going, it's like that feeling you get when you see like characters you love for so many years and they have their moments. And I'm sitting here thinking like, this in contrast to where Star Wars is, that Star Wars sequel trilogy is a disaster. You can pick which of the sequel trilogy movies you dislike the most, but everyone is in agreement that that is a total failure. And this should point that out. A quick aside, I did a review yesterday. I got an early look at, you probably have never even heard of this show. It's called Star Wars Visions. Do you know what it is?
It's the anime.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Garrett, if you're listening, God, I got to put that in my video. I was watching your live stream yesterday and your take, you just go describe what the show is.
Okay. So Star Wars Visions is this animated series. The episodes are about 15 minutes each. And the animation is really great. It's all different styles from all over the world, computer animation, 2D, 3D, even Aardman Animation Studios did clay animation, all set in the Star Wars universe. So I watched the first episode of the show, Star Wars Visions, and there's a female lead character. And I think, oh, that's fine. There are 9 episodes, by the way, and they're all like 15 minutes or so. Then the second episode, there's a female lead. The third episode, there's a female lead. The fourth episode, I turn it on. Wouldn't you know, a female lead. The fifth episode, I turn it on. There's a female lead. Then I watch the 6th episode. You guessed it, a female lead. Then the 7th episode, there's a female lead. And then we finally get to the 8th episode, and there's also a female lead. By the 9th episode, I'm thinking,
there has to be a dude at this point.
Where's it going to go? There's a female lead. Every single episode of this series features a female lead character, and the story is always the same, with the exception of maybe episode 8. Every single story is the same story. It's a female lead that is the good protagonist, the positive, that goes against an oppressor that is the bad person, and it's not just men, by the way. There are episodes where there are female, Imperials, but it's always like a rebel who's a female lead being oppressed by someone, either a man or a woman in that position. And the story is exactly the same. It's how they overcome the oppressor, which is mostly male. And every single episode of all 9 episodes of Star Wars Visions are women. Now, I don't mind that, let's make it 50-50, or 5 out of 4. But all 9, it really just shows, they've shown their true colors, right? Like the true colors are, we're just making girl boss Star Wars from now on, period. That's it. They feminized the Star Wars brand. They feminized Marvel. Gary, I think you were the first person to point this out when you coined the phrase. I'm surprised it's not a T-shirt. Where's the MCU shirt? Where's the M Star? How do you do like
the MCU belongs to everybody?
Okay, there you go. Anyone can make a shirt. Yeah. Just like the make Marvel male again. Just use it, whatever. Or
no, it's Starhurst now, and Disney's always been a girl brand. It tried to be a boy brand, and it turned the boy brands into girl brands. That's what happened.
It's just the seep and the rot in corporate culture that makes it that way. That's what it is. It's once a brand is absorbed. Marvel kind of stuck with it for as long as they could, but eventually they were taken over by the hive mind of that corporate culture. And look, we can talk about, I'm sure you've talked about, because I was watching, the finale while you guys were streaming, but that story, it's not this Star Trek Picard season 3 is not lectury. It's not, but if you look just a little bit beneath the surface, there are threads and themes, and all the people under 25, because their frontal lobes are not fully developed, they're not fully mature adults, all get captured by this Borg transporter virus. It's so brilliant. And there was nothing that hit the nail on the head exactly, but there's so much to read into about what's happening at colleges and universities, what's happening on social media, and how people are being, co-opted into a hive mind thinking, which is total, just when I was growing up, I was into punk rock. and that was like my thing. I liked punk, any sort of alt culture, anything, whether it was music, pop music on the radio or on MTV, was just sort of like whatever. The bands I liked were not super popular. And same thing with like comic books that I was into. I was into the weird stuff, like that run of New Mutants where Bill Sienkiewicz did all the covers. Oh my God. Chef's kiss on all those covers, man. That art was just sick. So, but like seeing that be the big plot reveal and Jack being at the center of that was pure brilliance. And I don't think it's not something that's like right, like there on the surface,
No, it's not in your face, but that's the very first thing I thought of when I saw it. And I watched that episode.
Yeah.
When I was down in LA for our dinner.
Right.
There. So that's when I watched that episode. And I was laughing, but like not at the show, with the show. I was like,
yeah,
I know what that means.
Yeah.
Like
woke mind virus.
Woke mind virus. And this one's a little harder to read into, but
right.
I choose to also the changelings infiltrating Starfleet and corrupting it. I'm like, that's Kurtzman Trek. That's what they did, guys. So Terry would never do that about his bosses. That would be unprofessional. But that's the way I choose to see it. And Cecil's here. What's up, Cecil?
Hey, Cecil.
He delivered his book.
I enjoyed it.
Congrats.
Mine probably got sent to San Francisco, to be honest with you. I don't think I updated the address or anything. So I don't know if I'm ever going to get it. Just finished it. Satisfying ending and heartwarming goodbye to the original cast and Enterprise. Hopefully they give Metalis the 7 of 9 spinoff.
Why wouldn't they? That setup is so good. A new
They have
Enterprise
Starfleet
series?
Academy coming.
Yeah.
Oh, God, that's going to be garbage.
God. Gee.
That's going to suck.
Just real quick, what I love also about this show, the youngest person in the cast of the Legacy crew is LeVar Burton. He's 66 years old. 66. Don't tell me you couldn't have made a Star Wars sequel trilogy with Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, and Harrison Ford. I think they waited way too long to do it. They should have done it in the late 90s instead of the special editions that George Lucas was obsessed with. Nobody cared about that. The sequel trilogy should have been done sooner, but whatever. But don't tell me that you can't make something entertaining with, isn't like Patrick Stewart like almost 80? Is he 80? It's crazy.
He's 80. Actually, William Shatner is like a decade older than him and looks a decade younger and acts a decade younger.
It's crazy.
He's still pretty energetic too. I saw him in Cincinnati only a couple of months ago, and Shatner, he's up there laughing. Like I went to his panel, he's laughing.
Yeah, he's great.
He could have kept going. Like you could tell he wasn't keeping track of the time. It wasn't until somebody told him time's up that he was like, "Oh, okay, well, we got to go." But he was great.
There's a really good interview with William Shatner on the the South by Southwest official YouTube channel. They have a YouTube channel, but he was interviewed for an hour by this guy, Tim League, who started the Alamo Drafthouse. This interview is so amazing. Shatner goes through his career. He's like, he has such a sharp memory, talking about like this movie he made with Roger Corman in the 60s. What's it called? The Intruder, which is fascinating that movie even got made at the time it was made. But he goes on, telling stories, like he's just so quick. Why don't they make a James T. Kirk? Because the way that Kirk went out in Generations was awful. It was.
They leave the door open for it.
There's got to be a way. Make another one. It would be huge. And this is what, if you couldn't despise J.J. Abrams even more for the choices that he made, not just with Star Trek, but with the Star Wars sequel trilogy. Because I would argue that it was doomed from the beginning because of the way it started with Force Awakens. It was doomed because of the way Han Solo's character was just unceremoniously killed. It was awful.
That was terrible.
J.J. Abrams, he's a fraud. He ruined Star Wars. He shouldn't have his. And also, I believe he's really truly in director's jail, which is this real thing in Hollywood. If you make something that bombs spectacularly, you are not going to be given money to do anything else. That's usually when like a director makes a small independent film. I don't think J.J. Abrams is capable of making anything on a small budget. And when you hear about the behind the scenes nonsense that occurred, even when they were making Force Awakens, he didn't know what the hell he wanted to do. He's incredibly indecisive. There were even like action figure characters that came out that were like made to be a big deal that are not even like in Force Awakens. There was some sheriff on Jakku or whatever that planet. I don't even care about any of that stuff. I do wonder if the sequel trilogy, like if you look at it now, does it get better? Does it get worse? I will say the prequel trilogy actually, in my opinion, there are sequences out that have, I think the prequel trilogy's actually aged well. I know it sounds crazy to say. Some people agree, some people don't, whatever. But no, just like this being so good is, why couldn't everything be this good? Why is it that it's only the people that get in these positions in Hollywood where they are really good at the politics and the corporate posturing and the saying the right thing on social media and saying the right things at the right parties to get in those positions where they get the jobs, where they can have the power, but they don't have any of the talent of someone like a Terry Metalis to be able to actually pull it off. Like, it bothers me that the industry rewards failure and rewards people who are just willing to kiss ass. I could say something more vulgar.
That's the corporatism.
Right.
And you know this, you just
Right.
explained this. So like it's the corporatism from corporate America. And I'm a full-blown capitalist, but I am always been more of a fan of the true capitalism that I see as your mom and pop, your local, we're a business owner where you can go see, you can talk to him or her at the business, and the buck stops with them. In the corporate culture, which is counterintuitive and antithetical to creativity, it's, you just explained it. Now we're getting people who are rising to the top who are very good at the art of corporate culture bullshit, saying the right things at parties to the right people. And there's always been that in Hollywood, but there was always a guy or a girl where the buck stopped with that person and they went with their gut. You can't go with your gut. Now everything, even despite like just mountains of evidence that things aren't going well, your focus groups and your marketing groups rule everything, and they're completely out of touch. And by the way, they're paid to tell the corporations what they want to hear and spin the numbers to what they want to hear. So Kathleen Kennedy, she's been a success. If you just look at the bottom line, completely ignore that the fandom is in shambles.
That Star Wars brand has been so damaged. I don't think it ever recovers, to be honest. It's been absolutely destroyed. The Star Trek fandom, actually, because it's never been as big. I mean, it's big, but I mean, it's nowhere near ever been the size of Star Wars. Star Trek's always been a niche fandom.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that could actually probably recover compared to Star Wars. If you did a couple of shows like Legacy and stuff and got things back on track, I think you could actually recover Star Trek. But Star Wars, that brand absolutely needs massive marketing, needs massive toy sales, merchandise sales. Star Trek can run on a small budget on a niche fandom.
Yeah, Robert's right. Robert was talking on Twitter yesterday about like, do some movies with the Legacy crew. If you want to do movies, $75 million budgets, like restrict their budget. The Picard season 3 had a very restrictive budget. And you could tell it sometimes, but it forced them to write. And that's, but they want, the corporate is always more, feed the coffers, make the shareholders happy, make the board happy, fuck the paying customer. And it doesn't work. And that's when that word maturity means you stopped innovating and now you're just buying your way out of extinction. That's what AT&T, that's what a lot of the cable companies did when they started buying other things to buy their way out of extinction. But they're still not innovative and they're still not creative. And as much as like, the Harry Potter show that was announced, that's a no-brainer. You should do it. It will make you money. It's kind of a sure thing, but it doesn't do anything to get more original content out there. It just doesn't. And that's why Hollywood is fallen. I mean, they're not the big boys in entertainment anymore. They're now going to have to adapt video games. That's going to be their next thing. And when Nintendo did it, they were in full control, but most entities and people will not be in control, and Hollywood will bastardize your favorite video game. And ultimately, I don't know how you make a better story that you can't control after you've played a better story that you can control. Like if they made a Red Dead Redemption game, how would that be better than your experience playing Red Dead Redemption?
It wouldn't be.
It wouldn't be. You know,
This is why I would have been more interested, honestly, in a Hogwarts Legacy show.
Yeah,
because it would have been a period piece. You know, you'd had it during that time, and it'd been new, but it would still had the feel of Harry Potter because it all would have been in Hogwarts. I mean,
and it would be before cell phones. You know what I mean? I just think that's a quote like Quentin Tarantino when they asked him, "What's your favorite period to make a film in?" He said, "Anytime before cell phones." Anytime, which is the rumor is his quote final film, the 10th film, is going to be set in the 1970s, and it's centered around a film critic loosely based on Pauline Kael. I don't know if you used to read her. I loved reading her, barely understood her when I was a kid, but still like loved her because she hated everything. And it was like, oh, it's real interesting. But she always had really interesting like things to say. But it sounds like it would be really cool. But it's just, yeah, I think Hogwarts Legacy set in the 1800s, late 1800s or something would be interesting.
You also could have done whatever you want with the cast.
Exactly. Then it's like, I just think it's going to be, what did I see? I think I sent it to you, Gary. Like I said, this is the thumbnail of the year. It was so good. And it was from, God, I'm spacing on the channel. My brain's not as good as
Clownfish TV.
Clownfish. Yeah, they did this thumbnail. Go to the Clownfish TV channel and said expecto diversio. And it was like, and it was all, it's like Harry Potter, but like all black. Like,
you know, they're going to make Hermione black 100%. She's going to be black.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like one of them's gay now. Like if you just done the Hogwarts Legacy show, you could have done whatever you want. Nobody cared because it'd be all new characters, but that takes a little bit of work, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it does.
Yeah,
it takes a little work to come up with something even kind of slightly new.
I'm gonna get some scoops here, guys.
Scoops?
Soups.
Oh,
no scoop. I don't know. Scoop. I did a scoop the other day, but I mean it's not a scoop because I couldn't tell you who it's from. So
I heard that scoop.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Favreau's out.
Yeah, no, that's you know what? Favreau was out by watching all the episodes. He wrote this season. Did you?
Pretty clear.
Oh my God! Did you see that finale?
Dude, I roasted it till 2 a.m. last night on a video that Garrett's working on right now.
Oh my God! I can't wait to watch it. Watch your video, actually.
I'll be happy to stop seeing all the take it over. But he lost the Civil War. It's over.
It's over.
Star Wars is saved, though.
Yeah, sure it is. It's the only thing to save Star Wars because Flash, I agree with what you said earlier about there's no like you could save Star Trek. Star Wars is beyond saving. The only way to save it is to make it go away. Is to shut everything down. No movies, no shows. You wait a decade. That's what Lucas.
I agree.
I remember the early 90s. There were all these like fanzines, like because I was doing Film Thread as a print magazine at the time. There was this really cool scene by a zine by a guy named John Snyder called "Report from the Star Wars Generation." That zine was so good, well-researched articles. It was all about like, you know, just like anything Star Wars that was cool at the time. It was, God, I remember like getting like these like really thick, all on newsprint, like toy mags, like toy collector magazines where you'd look and just look at the pricing of like an original X-Wing and like, it was like nostalgic because it had gone away for, you know, a decade from 83, right? It just sort of like, I mean, there was like little Power of the Force stuff, right? They try to bring it back, but that early 90s period was so great when there was no Star Wars. And that was awesome because you found out there were still fans. If you went to like toy shows or Comic Cons, fandom was there. It just like it was gone for a bit. And the only thing I
remember when they did a whole event without a movie, Shadows of the Empire,
Dash Rendar.
Oh, the game, the book,
the soundtrack.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, I've got the vinyl.
I'm pretty sure they did a full cast audio thing too with that. Pretty sure they did.
Yeah.
They had a toy line.
They had a toy line. Yep.
Shizor,
I
remember
remember seeing
Shizor?
Heir to the Empire at the bookstore, being shocked, going, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
I remember I got the Nintendo 64 game was my first. Then I read the book from that.
Yeah.
But that was a great and you didn't even have a movie. Could they do that now? They tried to do it with fucking High Republic. How'd that work out?
Oh my God. High Republic is so cringe. It's bad fanfic. It's bad fanfic. I'm sorry. There are no Mario Puzos in that story group.
No.
Like that. What's that video? You've used it a couple times.
Have you seen?
Sorry. Oh, go ahead.
Have you seen some of them? Holy shit.
Yeah. But it's weird. They had that
woman writers.
Yeah, they had that like chalkboard. It was a dry erase board, whatever, with like all the things, dinosaurs, diversity. They had diversity on it twice. It's so funny.
And inclusion.
Inclusion. Oh,
hey, we got another dinosaur in the last 2 episodes, in the second to last episode of fucking Mandalorian.
Oh my God. No.
2 days ago, they ruined Lord of the Rings Online and made it woke. I heard the foof ding, and like I'd never messed with Lord of the Rings Online because I'm such a gamer. But yeah, not surprised. The Embracer group is going to fuck things up 5 ways to Sunday, I think. So just enjoy. And again, I was talked about those signs. Return of the King comes out on a Thursday and becomes the number 2 movie in America on that day. Return of the King, a 20-year-old Fathom event. Wasn't even like a full release. Now it did get like 1,100 theaters, Chris.
Yeah.
Got into 1,100 theaters, and they expanded it upon that. And it was a 4-hour movie. And I'm in a
long one.
I'm in a very sleepy part of town, so it's rare if it's got to be a kids movie for my theaters to be sold out, like Super Mario. A theater was 3/4 full when I went there, and that was great to see.
If it's a big event, you'll get the crowd there because like Fathom also does anytime there's like an anime release here, and those theaters are packed. People will drive for those.
Oh yeah, they did the Demon Slayer thing or something near us. Fuck, it was like a Tuesday. Parking lot was full. Parking lot was full. It was crazy.
I love the Fathom events. They did the Big Lebowski recently for 420. I think it's playing today also. And then they also do all the Toho monster movies too. I've been going to just see Godzilla movies in a theater that like maybe I had like
they just re-released one. First time over here. I forget which one it was. I think it's Godzilla versus Mechagodzilla.
Yes,
not the old one, the newer one.
I saw it. I was there. I was
I wanted to. I couldn't get out to it.
And it was packed. The theater was packed full. And what they'll do is they'll add showings too. I even saw because they'll do retrospectives, then like film like anime stuff, and the Fathom events thing is hugely successful. So I wish they had done that with Picard because I didn't get in to see Picard last night. I was going to go to the theater to see it.
Oh, you didn't get in?
I didn't get it. Well, I'll tell you why. Partially my fault. GoFobo, when they listed the screenings, they listed the AMC Burbank 16, which is near me. So I went to that theater because it was on the listing of theaters that were showing Picard and IMAX. I thought I'll sneak in. I'll buy a ticket to a different movie and I'll just snake my way in. Turns out it wasn't even playing there. And it wasn't even playing there. So I'm sitting there. Paulie from Latino Slant came over and I was like, well, let's just hang out. It's happy hour, whatever. Hung out with another buddy of mine, AJ. And then he went to see Air, and Air is great. I don't know if you've seen it.
I heard it's good.
Really I'll wait till it comes. It's an Amazon movie, so it'll be on Amazon Prime.
It'll never make its money back.
Yeah, but you know what? Let me just say something on that. Like, you look at that movie, there's a reason that Ben Affleck walked away from DC being effed around so much with his Batman character and the movie he wanted to make. He is a real filmmaker, right? Like if you've seen Argo, I'm sure you've seen it. What happens at the end of Argo, and it's really intense. And same thing with this movie. You know what the result is. It's all about the Michael Jordan shoe. Yes, he ends up making a deal with Nike, but that's not all that it's about. And there's so many layers to it. Ben Affleck plays like Phil Knight, and it's like he's spot on. And Matt Damon's just, I really like him. He's just a good actor, but it's a solid movie. You look at it, and it's just it's really great because it's this era, this period of time. It's set in 1984, and they really ground it in that with the way people dress and videos, but it's not cheesy, and also music. It's just if he had been able to do a Batman movie, it would have been completely different.
It would have been great.
And it would have been great. It would have been a
That's the
detective
component of it.
crime film.
Yep.
That's what it would have been. A
Warner
crime.
Brothers is effing stupid.
Yeah.
Ben Affleck's a great actor, great writer. I mean,
Yeah.
he's got Good Will Hunting is fantastic movie.
Yeah.
Everyone I'm sure has seen that in the chat. That's him and Matt Damon.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I got to get through these soups. And
Sure.
Get out.
I gotta take off. Actually,
All right.
got some duties.
Yes. Do your duties.
Do your duties.
Duty. Thanks for coming on, Flash.
Yeah, it was
talking
great.
about
Thanks for having me, everyone. Give it. I hate sounding like a shill, but season 3 of Picard is everything that fans have been screaming for. Like, and that's what we want. You know, I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I watched it. It was nice being excited for a show every week, like I used to be sometimes. How long has it been since we've had something like that?
It's so rare now, you notice it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I just watched it. Like, why can't everything just be like this? It's just it seems so easy. Just give the fans what they want. It's crazy.
There are reasons for that, and I'll plan to get into them in the very near future.
Every week, I look forward to watching that show, and it's been a long time since I've had that, man.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Take care, Flash.
Take care, Flash.
Thanks, guys. Are you coming on Saturday, Chris?
I will do that. I will be there. Yeah, I might be at the bar, but I'll step out. I'll be out at least for a little bit, if not the whole time. I'll be there. We'll
have a good Picard talk.
All right. Later, brother.
See you guys.
Take care.
Yellow Flash, everyone. Give him a round of applause. And Cecil, I got your DM. If you're out there, Cecil. All right. I'm going to get through some of these. Thank you very much for your patience, everybody. The Foofding. Thank you very much. Dr. Scooter Jones for $4.99. Stupid Strange New Worlds. Kirk is not from space. I'm from Iowa. I only work in space. Yeah. I don't know if you saw that clip with fucking Kirk and Strange New Worlds too. It's fucking dumb. It's terrible.
Oh, I didn't see that. Oddly, I don't watch that show.
Good. There's a clip. It's out there. It's terrible. T-Toys for £2 Strange New Worlds of Disco can't be canon. Literally poops on Spock. I read that one. Gandalf the Wolf for $1.99. Paramount, be smart, not woke, and Greenlight Legacy. I agree. Accidental Seller for 59 Norwegian krona. When Jack pretended to be the Enterprise G captain, walking in with a swagger and ordering around and sitting in the chair, he reminded me of young Kirk. Yeah. It's a Picard with swagger. If Expanse wasn't the best at physics in space, then Firefly was. Fuck, I miss Firefly. Or really just any well-written American entertainment for that matter. I agree. Jake Hall for $10, but Firefly ended great with Serenity. I think that was a good ending. T-Toys for $5. It was likely broken down and a tug shipped it to the new location, like they did moving the London Bridge from UK to the US, Arizona. P.S. Star Trek Legacy, Team Terry only. I agree. And yeah, we're talking about how they moved the old space dock to another planet. That's probably how they did it. The D had PTSD flashes when Troy took the con, right? Daniel Altamara. That was funny. For 90 Argentinian pesos, I think. 200 Watt Studio for $5. I was okay with Jordy saying a computer can't fly through that. Hell, even my daughter couldn't do it. And I'm okay because he's a proud father. Yes. And his daughter was cool, was a good character.
Yeah.
Wasn't cool, boss. She got taken over. Not applicable for $2. Delete all social media. Offline is real life. Not applicable. Can't do that right now. Wouldn't do that. I think social media, there's goods in it. There's good in it. But when I call it quits and want to go travel the world with Mrs. Nerdrotic, I'm done. I'm unplugged. Bye-bye. Gonna spend time with the lady and just chill.
That's this fall, right? You're doing that?
For a little bit? I'm not retiring this fall.
No. I'm saying you are going on an overseas trip.
Yeah, for a week after the UK trip. I'm unplugged for a week. Yeah, I'm not doing anything.
Crazy.
Not doing anything. I think that might be the first Friday Night Tights I miss in many a moon. It'll still be on the channel. It'll still be a show. Just I won't be there. It's 20th anniversary. It's 20th wedding anniversary. Got to do it.
Got to do it.
Mitch Nutt Composer for $5. Can we stop and appreciate how excellent Stephen Barton's musical score was for season 3? Absolutely. I've been listening to it quite a bit. It is beautiful. The soundtrack is nearly 2.5 hours long and incredible. Cannot agree. You can pre-order the vinyl on Amazon right now. I think it comes out in about 3 weeks. T Stoney for $10. RMB's recommendations have me sub to P plus. Dave Cullen, you. Others gave me more confidence. Now that it's over, I canceled with a note saying, hire Metalis, I'll be back. There you go. Mephisto's movie review. Mephisto's, I can read. Movie reviews. What's up? It was great talking to you about Clockwork Orange. Your trial begins now, Jack. Mo Capitan. Yes, the Q coming back was awesome. Mo Capitan. To one of our studio for $5 per card. Season 3 was great, but not seeing what's next. I read that one. T Stoney. I read that one. Big fan. We lost everything. I read that one. Okay. And not applicable. My first command. We live in a tumultuous time. A great many enemies are set about us. Steady ahead, men. Let's make one last era belong to us. Love it. Love it. Matthew Hammond for $5. Quarter Black Garrett. Yes. So it's official. I've known about this, but I haven't said anything. Quarter Black Garrett just announced on Twitter that he is doing a sketch comedy show, Normal World, with Dave Landau on Blaze TV. Have no fear. He clarified that he's going to work with Gary. Yeah, he's not going anywhere. He's not going. This is like it's a side gig. It's a side gig. So no, he's still editing for me. Still going to be on Friday Night Tights. Not going anywhere. This is the way Garrett runs his schedule. The way I don't have a schedule. That's why but when we first discussed the job, when Garrett came to me and said he wanted to work for me, I'm like, are you sure? So I made him think about it for a good long time. And then when we finally decided, I'm like, okay, so here's the deal working for me. I don't have a schedule. Like I have scheduled live streams, but I will cancel them outside of Real BBC and FNT at the drop of a hat because my main focus is videos, and the videos take a ton of work. Now I do a ton of work on them. But I needed an editor, right? But I also needed Garrett there to engineer basically and produce my live streams, do he does a lot of, he's basically the channel's manager, right? But the good side of that, I said, is like, sometimes I'm going to send you footage at 1:45 and expect you to work on it. Sometimes I'll call you rare, but I'll call you at 3 a.m. and say, hey, we got to do something right now. And you got to get up and we got to do it. But that rarely happens. What generally happens is I record a video, I send it to him. He works on it he's really fast for a couple of days. Then I don't bug him for 2 days, 2-3 days, like 2-3 days. He's got complete free time to do whatever the hell he wants. He's allowed to stream with whoever he wants. He's allowed to work on his other channels. He's allowed to work with other people. There is, I might be dumb, but there's no contract. There's nothing. This is all like verbal handshake deals.
Right.
He gets paid. But he gets a ton of free time. So he's got time to work with Dave. Now, if there's a situation where I need him, we've already agreed that I get him.
Right. So you're your first priority, right?
Yeah.
You're like the first whatever. Yeah. I mean, that's like Film Thread is, look, we don't bring in near the YouTube revenue that a channel like yours is closing in on 800,000. We just passed 69,000. 69, exactly. But it's like everyone's just freelance. It's just like we're all like, I mean, Al and I pay every 2 weeks. Everyone else gets paid like once a month. I just do the, like who do I owe how much, boom, and then it just goes. But
that's how I do it.
Yeah, it's monthly, boom, and yeah, but just you keep it real simple. Yeah, there's no contracts with us either. We do have writers guidelines for the website, just so that there's consistency. But other than that, it's very loosey goosey, and I like that freedom. But I love that like you're so committed, Gary, that they'll be like the Marvels comes out and here's your video on it, dude. Oh my God. That is going to be. Here's my fear with what's happening with not fear, but possibility is there is a very good possibility that Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is a really good movie and no one will care. And the box office will be.
That clip they put out wasn't good, Chris.
Yes, true. The one where they're on some planet in their outfits.
Like volume. It looks terrible.
It looked bad. I was like, oh, this thinks it's clever.
Have put that out. Yeah, I wouldn't have put that out.
I wouldn't have put it out either. It didn't look great.
They are screening the movie like really early.
Yeah, no. Actually, I need to talk to you after the stream if you're going to end it, because I can see it on Thursday, April 27th in Burbank. I've asked them if there's another screening in Vegas. I don't think that there is. So there you are. We'll have to talk Vegas.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, what do I do? Because I know I'm supposed to be on FNT on that Friday with Burnett, RMB. Wait, did I blow something? Should I not?
No, everybody knows that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So then if I see it and I have a +1, that could be anybody, right? So what do I do? And we should maybe have an offline conversation about this.
We'll talk about it.
Like, do I come to the meetup Wednesday, which I'm already planning? I will be at the meetup 100%. And then do I go back to LA, see Guardians 3, then come back? Or do I stay here and then be on the show via stream? Like, I can tell you about Guardians. And the other thing is, usually they give you this thing of like, social embargo is this. It's like, no, you can do a review the next day. So that shows that they're pretty confident that the movie's good. But how many times has a Marvel movie gotten a great reaction from the critics? Every time. Has there been a Marvel movie that didn't get over the top praise?
Yeah.
All the people who are invited to see it.
I mean, I'd trust it from you, but I wouldn't trust if everybody else is going to say great. I'm going to go with every Marvel movie. Well, I'll wait until I see it.
Right.
I leave it up to you, man. Once I'm getting to Vegas, it's hard. I can't leave.
Yeah, I know. Like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That's why I'm still going to work on seeing if there's a Vegas screening.
There should be screenings all the time in Vegas. Fuck Burbank.
Yeah, I know a critic that lives in Vegas. I should just hit him up, but it's I don't know, it'd be good for the show. It'd also be good to get like an early thing. So I don't know what I'm going to do right now. And then Jeremy is going to Universal Hollywood so he can go to Nintendo Land. So I think he's just going to go and come back.
Yeah, I hope I hope they realize what the LA traffic is. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if they understand. Like, normally it's a 4-hour drive nobody on the freeway. It's 4 hours from LA it's 5 hours to San Diego's 4 hours to LA, depending on how fast you drive.
Right.
During the day, a work day, that could be 8.
That's what. Okay, so by the way, I am driving out to Vegas.
I mean, it'd be smarter if they flied.
If
they flew. If they flew out there and just flew into John Wayne. No, it's Universal. So fly into Burbank. Fly into Burbank from Vegas. You'd be there in a half an hour. You'd be back in a half hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah, it'd be quick. But here's what I'm doing. I'm driving to Vegas.
Hour maybe.
Tuesday night. Probably gonna leave at 9 p.m. I'm going to sleep in a parking lot of, I don't know, somewhere outside of Vegas. Then I'm going to wake up and I'll just be there.
Just go to Vegas. Have fun in Vegas.
But look, I just want to get there. I just want to get there. So I wake up and Wednesday morning, I'm just in the parking lot of wherever. And then I'll just roll in.
So they're going to miss Chrissy's show.
If they go to Nintendo,
they're not going to make it back for Chrissy's show.
Should I have had this conversation offline? I don't want to
have it with Jeremy, or I'll have it with Jeremy. Fly. If you're going to go there, fly, or you're going to miss Chrissy's show.
And I feel guilty because I'm the one that hooked them up with the tickets. So I think that Drunk 3PO, like they're going as a group, like four. I got 4
When
tickets.
They go on the weekend?
I don't know. It's just whatever he asked me. I was trying to help
our business on live streams, folks.
Yeah, sorry about that, Gary. I'm sorry. I don't want to cross any lines.
I don't give a shit. No, I would question. This would be my questions, but like if they want to go for park hopping, that's totally their decision. I get it. It's all right.
Yeah,
I get it. I get it. They're big Mario fans, and if there was something like if there was Lord of the Rings land, and somebody fucking gave me a fucking ticket to Lord of the Rings land, I'd probably do the same thing. So, where was I?
Oh, I got to leave in about 10 minutes, Gary.
Yeah, so do I. Big fan. We lost. I read that one. My first command. Swords are fun though. I read that one. We should have Lizzo. We should have made Lizzo a Twi'lek in Mando. No, Mark of Reality, $50. A WT for $5. What the hell? What the hell was with Janeway? She is getting demoted for sure for this attack happening. She got manipulated. I read that one. Lawrence Goldstein. The difference between someone who cares about Star Trek and someone who hates it. Alex Kurtzman makes a difference. Finally, good Trek. Agreed. Sir Neaf Strife for $20. Fun fact about the Enterprise F was a design from a competition design of the new Enterprise on Star Trek Online. I knew that. So a fan turned it into a design and that design won. And that part of it's cool. Gandalf Wolf for $1.99. Dylan Mulvaney is the new lead of Star Wars Visions. LOL. Probably. Andrew Valdez for $4.99. I'm sorry. You must have obviously missed the first, fourth, seventh male leads. First, fourth, fifth, seventh, which had male leads, or you're just being purposefully misleading on the Visionaries. He's talking about season 2.
Yeah, I'm talking about season 2 because I've seen season 2.
Yeah,
I got an early screener and I watched all 9 of them, just binged them in one night.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because after a while I'm binging them going like every single one is a female lead going against some oppressor so it's always the female lead is always a, the protagonist, the hero, on the good side, the rebels, a Jedi, whatever. Always a female lead, always on the good side against an oppressor. It got laughable. But the animation was what kept me watching it. It was just like, well, these are short. If one sucks, I'll just watch the next one. And they were all like, I would say there were like 2 or 3 that were like, okay, that's a decent story. But the animations, I love animation. I've always liked different styles of animation.
Oh, Accidental Stellar says for 119 Norwegian Krona, Chris Gore is wrong. Star Wars Visions episode 3 has a male lead robot who wants to be a Jedi Padawan with old Sith, male samurai ninja male, and the Force twins male hero. But that's season 1.
That's season 1. I'm talking
about season 2. Sorry, we didn't.
I should have clarified.
Yeah. Did you guys like the Grogu being adopted? Was a big moment for season 3. Didn't that happen in the first episode of the first show? Where's the paperwork? Bentley Sex 760 for $5. I mean, did he just go, "I'm adopting you now," and they went, "Okay"? Like what? And they mentioned his parents might still be alive. We don't know.
Stupid.
It was
so stupid. They should have.
About it was dumb.
It would have been funny if Mando was sitting in a rocking chair with like a big pipe and just sort of rocking.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. He's in the cabin.
The only thing I liked in that series was his little modest home in the parking lot of Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Don't forget the 90s Star Wars comics and the Star Wars Dark Horse manga with Adam Warren. Not applicable. We would never forget that. Thank you for the $4.
Yeah.
All right. I got time to read a couple more. Then I definitely have to leave. Chris
Sure.
Lanier for $5. It was nice to hear Majel Barrett's voice one last time and love Riker's comments as they powered down the Enterprise D when he said, "I miss that voice." I think we all felt that way. Yep. I agree. The Geek and I podcast. Where'd the Ghost Rider head go? And who was it? Oh, it was the Borg Queen. There was a deleted scene where they had a bowl, and that didn't make it. But it was the Borg Queen who was talking to Vatic.
Yeah,
and so she was the gloppy head. Not the most well executed thing in the world. Okay, just wasn't. Matthew Hammond for $2. I have 2 things. Oh, I already read that one. So yeah. So Quarter Black's going to work with Dave Landau and the Blaze. That is out there. Okay.
Cool.
Gotta go. I'm gonna be on open bar, but I'm going to the gym first, so I might be a little late.
Cool.
All right. We got 3 more. I would have preferred the Enterprise G be a new ship. What do you think about that? I'm fine with it. I was disappointed by just renaming the Titan. I wasn't at all. Okay, but a few people were, and that's totally cool. That's a normal fan conversation. I love that. Wingnut for $5. Attack of the Doc is available on my birthday, 4/24. Insta-buy. Love the show. That's right.
Yeah. Attack of the Doc. The premiere is tomorrow. Just go to Attack of the Doc. That's doc.com. All the links are there. Hope to see you there. We're doing it's gonna be a lot of fun. And then Monday it comes out. And then next week I'm in Vegas at the Meetup Millennium Fandom Bar on Wednesday, the 26th. I'll be there, Gary.
All right.
For sure. 100%.
Different topic, but on 420, did anybody else start hearing because I got high when SpaceX Starship started the barrel roll of death? What happened to the Starship? I thought they nixed the landing. Did it crash today? Did the Starship take off? Do you know?
I don't know.
Tell me, chat. El Presidente. I love that song. I'm not a stoner, but because I got high. Did it crash? What happened? What happened, chat? I heard SpaceX exploded.
Yeah, I don't know.
It was it mostly successful? Exploded on takeoff. Oh shit.
All right. Twitter will have the news.
Dude, that was a giant the Starship or SpaceX. Was it Starship? It wasn't Starship, was it?
I don't know. Twitter will have that answer.
I guess it'll be a while before we go to Mars. Okay. Twitter will have the answer. All right. Thank you. Sorry for the late to the show. Watched the finale this morning and was not sure what I thought of Return of Jedi and Star Trek. I liked it, Mitch Thibault, but
I liked it. I liked it too.
I liked it.
I liked it. Thought it was great.
All right, Chris, tell us about Attack of the Doc before we go.
Go to Attack of the Doc. That's doc.com. There are still tickets available to screenings in Santa Ana, California at the Frida Cinema. Check that out. All the links are at attackofthedoc.com or follow Attack the Doc on social. Movie comes out on Monday. You can just rent it for $2.99. And you can buy it also, have it be part of your digital library. The link is at all what I said before. And then that's it. So there you go. And then I'm working on a couple more movies. It's going to take me a while. So there you go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Got a video coming out next day or so, Mandalorian. And then I'll drop one next week while I'm in Vegas. I'm going to be in Vegas all week. I leave Sunday. I get there Monday. I'm there till Saturday. And we're going to get all kinds of knucklehead, not all kinds of craziness there. So we'll play a lot by ear, but there's the meetup, of course, at 7 at the Millennium Fandom Bar. It is maxed out, though. It is maxed out. But it's 21 and up. And of course, we have Chrissy's show following night. And then we have Friday Night Tights from Vegas in studio. I rented out a studio so everybody could be there. Hope everybody will be there. We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll have lots of fun.
Cool.
But thanks for being here. This will stay unlisted. So if you're a little late watching it, it's not going to go away. We're going to re-upload it on Nerdrotic Live. Thanks to everyone. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. And thank you, Terry Metalis, for giving us a gift we never thought we'd get. Take care.